Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. I cannot believe it's Sunday already. It is Sunday. Jeez, Louise. So this is my week 72 and 73. Last week, I took a little 4th of July holiday break. And so, how did I do? How did I do? So, I'm going to talk about it. In the chat before we get started, I just got to recognize the people that are here on time, ready to go. We have Lakeisha. Hello, Lakeisha. Mel to the B. Hello, hello. Felicia Marie B. Hello, hello. She says, Happy Sunday. We have who else? Slim's in the making. How are you? How are you? And we simply have Simply Taisha. How are you? How are you, Joe? Oh my goodness. Joe, I always gotta ask you. I don't have this down. As much as we chat, I should know this. What time is it where you're at in the UK? I want to get it together one of these days. Let us know, Joe. What time is it? I appreciate that time difference. So I appreciate you being here even more. All right, so let's get started. Let's get started. So last week, the week before last, my week 72, if you guys remember, I was having some struggles with my the 12.5 dose, the 12.5 milligrams. So this is my 16th month. I've been saying 15. I feel like for so long I had to transfer that and put it at 16 months now. And so I was saying to myself, I'm getting to my birthday. My birthday is July 21st. It's the magic day, right? My July 21st, I'll be 53. And remember back I'll have to do this to talk about this on my vision board. I set a goal to be 100 pounds down by July, my birthday. So obviously I'm not going to get there. Now, am I backing away from that goal or did I get closer to it? It's the question for today. So I had to restructure myself. So I will tell you, yesterday, I have a membership and it has tiers, and I just modeled this from other people. And the highest tier level, not the highest tier is like a coaching situation, but the tier before that is a tier where you have members only lives. And so I had two of my girls in there yesterday, I should say ladies. And when I tell you, we had such a great discussion, like we said, great live at the end, and it was just three of us in there. But I talked about I they really helped me work through these goals. So I want to give a shout out to Bellflower, my weight loss twin. When I say we are truly weight loss twins, and we just kind of have a lot of things in common, like we think on the same, kind of level. I just love that, right? Because a lot of times you meet people and you just love them because you love them, and then you meet people because they're a lot like you, right? In some ways, and so that is her for me. Like she is just, we're on point like that together. So she was just very insightful, and so was Mel to the B. And actually, they're in maintenance. So talking through some things with them was super helpful yesterday. And we were talking about my goals. We were talking about the goal that I wanted. I had, talked about the goals, and we were doing some goal setting, and even talking about some of the goals they had. So I am going to restructure that goal. So now I have a new target, right? The goal didn't change. The target really didn't change. I should say the target date has changed, but I still have to set that goal for myself. So, I put a new plan in place where I want to be. And so I'm not going to talk about that today, but I just tell you that to say, I was thinking like, geez, oh man, like how close am I going to be to that goal when I get to, my actual birthday? So week 72, remember I was struggling with that 12.5, having the fatigue lasting a little bit longer than I'm used to. I was also having trouble eating, right? So this past week, so that was week 72, week 7, and then that led up to the 4th of July. And on the 4th of July, I really managed my eating well. I had some little treats here and there, but I didn't overindulge, and I probably couldn't have if I even wanted to. And so I was kind of proud of myself with how I did. And, but I was just so tired, just kind of sluggish, at the Pilates, you really don't have a choice but to give your best, I feel like, because you're in there with people, you're on it, the energy, the whole, they work with you, if they see you're struggling with something in any kind of way. So I felt like that, of course, was up to par. But then my workouts at home weren't the best, right? Because I just didn't have the energy. And so all of that, which is why I said I needed to go to Planet Fitness, right, to be somewhere. I'm like a group setting type of girl. Because remember, I will exercise. I don't love it, right? I won't love it. And, a lot of people will tell you they do things that they don't love to do. Exercise is one of those things for me. So I don't love it right now. It has been times where I loved it, but those were when I was doing some kind of group fitness. So I'm trying to find that, again, not like me and a partner, not like me. I'm just like a group where you go and you have to be there. I'm one of those people, I'm responsible and I show up on time. For things I know other people are there like depending on me. So, I'm getting out of that, right? Because I'm doing this stuff here at my house. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it and doing it well, that week I was super tired. So this week it's been a little bit better. It's been a little bit better for me. But this 12.5, when I take the injection, it just makes me tired. So let me tell you about the insurance. That's another thing. So I had two stressors this week, and I think my cortisol levels must be super high. If you talk to me, I'm not a complainer, which is, I thank God for that. Not that if you are somebody who talks about things openly like that, I think that's great. For me, I'm just kind of like, I'm a doer, right? I'm a doer. I have a problem, I fix it, right? Or I try to. And so, so that's what I have been working on this week. So I had insurance issues. I went to, I sent my doctor a message, I put in for my 12.5. I normally get 3 boxes, at once. And she put that in for me. And because when I first initially got the 12.5 box, I just got the 1 box because we wanted to see how it would work, the side effects, what was going to, happen. It was fine. It's manageable. So she put it in for the 3 months. Well, then I checked and, they sent me a message, the status of your insurance. So I'm like, okay. Well, they were saying they didn't have it in, which is, I always get this message because I ordered the 3 boxes. So I'm thinking, no big deal. So I had not heard from them. So I checked and, I have an app. So I check on the app and it says reviewing insurance. And I'm like, reviewing insurance? Like, what is going on? Right. So I call and the lady tells me, well, yeah, she says you don't, your insurance is not covering it. And I said, well, I've been taking this medication for 16 months. What do you mean it's not covering it? Like my insurance hasn't changed. And she said, oh, okay, ma'am, let me look. So she looks it up and she says, well, you're actually not covered under the insurance. And I said, say what? She said, you're not covered under this insurance. She's like, you're not on this insurance. And I said, this is the insurance that I have. So she says, has something changed with your insurance? Like, what is going on? I said, yeah, I don't know. So she gives me the number. She tells me to call my insurance. She doesn't give me a number. She tells me to call my insurance. I call my insurance. The lady says, yeah, your insurance has this plan, but they don't have like medical, like insurance benefits, like pharmacy benefits. And I said, how do you have an insurance plan with no pharmacy benefits? I said, somebody done lost their minds. So she gives me the number. So she said, I could tell you who's in charge of your plan. So she gives me the name. Right away, I recognize the name because, if you guys know a little bit about my history, I have worked well with my administrators. I was a negotiator for my district for so long. This last contract, I got off of it. And so I know all, the people that, I know who to talk to. So I call this lady, leave her a message, but I'm thinking it's kind of odd for me to call her because she's like at the top of the, it's like I didn't think she would be the person that I would talk to. So anyway, so I called my union president because I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, did I miss something? Did I not get an email? So he's like, I don't know, Shay, let me know what you find out, contact this person. He gives me a different contact person. So I call that person and she's like, I don't know what's going on. She said, but you do have the benefit. She said, did you get your new insurance card in the mail? And I said, no, I don't think I got an insurance card. So here I look over, I got a stack of papers, right? A stack of things that I didn't open that aren't related to bills. They're just like, I'm thinking they're statements or whatever. So she said, so she's still on the phone with me. So I said, well, let me, I'm looking through this paper. So she says, well, this is what it would say on the envelope. So I was like, here it is, right? I would have never thought to open it because I didn't think it was like anything I needed to know. I thought it was just like a summary of, past things because I just had a mammogram, right? which came back great, by the way. It came back, I'm all clear with that mammogram. So go get your mammogram if you're a lady out there. So we go, I open it up. Sure enough, here's the new card. So, okay, great. So I'm thinking, oh, everything's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Thank you, lovely lady. Have a great day. See you when I see you in August. So I go and so I call the tell my talk to the Walgreens, and they like, no, 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 ma'am, still no, no, no. So I felt like I was like, what in the world? Like, this is just, I'm just so like outdone. So all I could think about is, am I gonna have these issues in retirement? Like, maybe I shouldn't be retiring, because I would just be like out of my wits end if this was like, if I was retired and this happened, because I wouldn't know what to do. So now I'm prepared. So I think God puts obstacles in your way for a reason. So now I know what to do, right? And so I talked to the Walgreens. I'm still not considered under this insurance, right? So I call the actual insurance company, and I'm talking to a different lady, and I could tell she's bothered because she's had these calls from other folks that I find out later. But I'm kind, I'm nice, I'm hitting her with the kindness, and I'm not letting her have this attitude that she's kind of having a little bit with me, right? So I said, well, do you mind if I call the person in my district so you can tell her that I'm not on this insurance plan? Because I just spoke with her 5 minutes ago, and she said it isn't so. And I have my new card, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so she didn't want to, but mind you, I'm so kind. It's like, how could you say no? So the lady says, so she's like, well, ma'am, I'm really, she's like, ma'am, we really don't do stuff like that, but go ahead. She's like, call her. I'll be happy to talk to her. So I thought, thank you, Jesus, right? And so I call on the three-way, which is so nice. Like, what insurance company, maybe yours does that, but what insurance company does that? I just think, shout out to this lady, whoever she is. I forgot her name. I just think, kudos to her for, helping me out that day, because I just could see it being a back and forth for some days when it didn't have to be. So we, contact the lady in my district. Sure enough, we figured out the problem. And so then I was able to call Express Scripts, right? That's who I should have been talking to all along. And so finally I talked to Express Scripts, and she told me what to do. And I'm going to maybe talk about this on my Wednesday live. I'm not going to go into it now, but she gave me some key information when people are trying. So basically what I ended up having to do is, because it was a little tweak in my insurance, and we didn't think it was a big enough tweak that I would go through all this, right? But it was a big tweak. It was a little tweak with big repercussions for how our insurance has changed. So basically, she put out an email to everybody. I mean, it just was like a ripple effect. Me trying to get my medication. And it just was so funny. And this is the only medication I'm taking, the only medication I'm taking. So, it wasn't a mix up or anything like that. So anyway, this lady at Express Scripts told me what to tell my doctor. When she gave me this information, I was just like, I can't wait to share this. I'm going to probably make a video about it or talk about it on Wednesday. But she gave me this information and told me what to tell my doctor to get it Speedy Gonzalez. And so I sent that information to my doctor, and I'm telling you, by 5 o'clock that day, my insurance, my prescription had gone through. So I'm rolling up in there. I went through the drive-through. I'm rolling up in the drive-through, and I'm like ready to go. So I'm actually talking to my cousin on the phone who has, some things going on. And so I didn't want to hang up with her, because you know how you're talking to somebody and you need to talk to them. So I didn't want to hang up. So I put her on hold for a minute. So the lady's, taking my, card and things. And she's like, ma'am, do you realize this medication? She's like, it's 1,000. I won't say, she said 1,200, da 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 da. And I said, wait, what? I said, are you sure? Because I just handled this with my insurance company. And so she said, wait a minute. She's like, hold on. She's like, I'm going to have to, re-put it through. She's like, let me refresh. So she re-put it through, and she was like, $25. And I said, that's my kind of number. So I'm just like, what in the world? Like, it was just a whirlwind of things. So in the meantime, that was my insurance situation. And luckily I was on it. And luckily I was home. Like, this is one of the advantages of being, having a vacation, is that if I were at work, I don't think I would have handled it as fast. I mean, I had the work people right there to talk to, but I can't be on the phone like that. My schedule is dictated by my student schedule. So it was just nice to be able to just get that. So anyway, that what I ended up having to do was get a pre-authorization, and that took me into next year. So the pre-authorization, July, whatever that date was of next year. So that's kind of a relief. So now I don't know though whether I can continue to 3 months like that. Now I have to figure out if I'm able to do that. So, and I say, I'm just going to leave it here. I didn't have any more energy, time, and effort to give to that. I just had the medication. But in the meantime, I didn't take it on Wednesday, which is my normal injection day, because all this happened on a Wednesday, right? Because I'm like, where's the medicine? Like, what's going on? So Thursday is when I took the medication. So Thursday I took it, and then because it's this 12 and a half, it's so strong. It really suppressed my appetite. Like, and I've been keeping the appetite suppression, but it reminds me of how I felt on Ribelsis, which is like that full kind of bloated feeling. And when I say I can't eat, I mean it. Like, I'm not one of those people, like, I can eat. I love to eat. I still love food. I still love to eat food. People who say, like, I don't want to eat, it's boring, I don't look forward to it. That's not me. I still like food. I still like the things I'm eating. I enjoy eating. And so, I can eat something, and then that's enough for the day. And I'm going to show you what I ate today. And if I would let it would last me all day, and maybe like have some electrolytes. I got some here, and, a little snack or something. But I'm going to show you guys what I ate today. And this is what I'm saying. I think people are losing this weight because they probably aren't like me and making themselves eat anyway, which is fine. I think that's good if you can handle it that way. For me, I just, you know what I'm saying? I just don't one of my goals with that DEXA scan was to get my metabolism up, if you remember. And in order for me to get that metabolism up, I'm going to have to eat. I'm going to have to eat. I just am. So, I don't want to eat the protein bars and all of that. I really just kind of want to eat the whole foods. And so, I'm just trying to have to get something. And I don't like a protein. I think I was talking to somebody the other day about this. I'm not one of those people like, oh, let me grab a piece of chicken. And that's just not, for me, I like, let me grab some mashed potatoes, a sweet potato, a piece of corn on the cob. Like, I like stuff like that. I'm not a big protein person. So this lifestyle change has been a real shift for me to even try to get protein. So I'm just going to show you what I ate today. I ate it around 11:30ish, 12 o'clock. And I've been drinking electrolytes to kind of keep my energy up. And this is what I've been eating for the last couple days. And if I wanted to have this be my only meal for the day, it could be. But as you can see, that's not a lot of calories, and I don't want to do that. So am I forcing myself to eat? No, but I'm going to have to maybe drink some of the calories, because also that can stall a weight loss. I know so many people think that, because we know calories in and calories out, right? But it's other things that play into it, and not eating enough, which is what the DEXA scan guy also told me, it's not good, right? So, so I'm curious to know when I go back next month, what's going to go on with this DEXA scan, because, this can be hit or miss, but whatever it is, we're going to deal with it. So, so I told you all that to say, on Thursday, when I took that injection, I was so tired. And then I had on Friday, something happened with family that just was, I don't even want to talk about it because I don't want to break down. But it was tough. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I felt myself wanting to emotionally eat, but I couldn't. I couldn't even do it because I felt like I was kind of stuffed, right? I felt really stuffed. And that's how Ribelsis used to make me feel. And so, but Ribelsis doesn't have that same effect where I couldn't function. Like, I could still function. So literally, I'm talking on Friday, I'm talking to Mel on the phone, and I'm telling her, I don't really feel good. She's like, Dee Dee, you might not want to do this live. And I said, I need to eat, but I don't want to eat, right? I said, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to eat. I said, if I feel hungry after the live, I'll eat after. I said, but I'm not going to eat. What I am going to do is either drink a protein shake or take some electrolyte or drink electrolytes. And she was like, I would drink the electrolytes with the water. And when people criticize Element, and I drink Element, I love Element, just the one flavor though. But and I've tried some of those other, you guys saw if you saw my Whole Foods shopping, video I made. I tried some other electrolytes. They're not like my little Element, so I'm sticking with that. I just love it. But that Element works for me. It works for me. It is a pick me up. It really does pick you up. It's not just like you're sweating. Whatever it's doing, it's picking me up. So I don't know what it's doing for other people. I know people say, well, I don't work out hard, so I don't need Element. It does help with me with that fatigue. So I had that Element on Friday. When I tell you, if you were at that Friday live, that's one of the best lives. I enjoyed it. We had a good time. We talked. I don't know if you could tell I was not feeling well, but I didn't start off feeling well on that live. But the show must go on. I picked up my energy, and you feed off energy from the chat, right? So that's what I do. So when people say, "Oh, your energy is up," that's because this chat is the bomb. People who come to my lives and live streams, you guys are the bomb. So that makes me, and I shouldn't say the bomb, but you know what I mean. That you guys are awesome. So that just makes, if I feed off of that. And so I had that energy, and I don't know how I had that energy, but I do know how. It's these electrolytes. Let me take a sip right now. So yeah, so that was my insurance situation, my side effects. So this is what I ate today. Let me take this little banner off. So this is what I've been eating. And I've been, so I have my little turkey meat there. I ground turkey. And I put my taco seasonings. I love some onions, red onions or white onions. I don't care what onions. I just love onions. And then I have like my little dash of sour cream. I have some cucumbers I diced up, and then I have some lettuce, and mix that all together, and that is delicious. So that's what I had today. And actually, I could have stopped eating when I got full. You guys say that intuitive eating. And I said, I'm going to eat as much of this as I can. So I really ate the whole thing because, I don't know if I'll get something else in. And one of the other things I do is I've always had this rule since I've started Mounjaro, and I've tried it before on anytime I'm on a weight loss journey or some sort of lifestyle change, I cut off my eating. And, that coach Romero told me, shout out to him. Where is he? I'm going to have to find him. He told me, really, Downsizing Diva, your time you eat, it doesn't really have anything to do with calories in and calories out. And I said, for you. For me, it helps me because I don't like to wake up stuffed. I think that besides the inflammation, my A1C going down 70 something pounds, we'll find out exactly how many I am down today. How many pounds I'm down, like just not feeling stuffed in the morning, because I used to eat late and I feel stuffed. So I'm not doing it for any scientific reason or anything like that. For me, and I also think you have to give your body a chance to digest food, right? You eat food. Lots of people have heartburn and stuff like that. I never have had heartburn in my life. That's because I don't really like to eat and go to sleep. So I have a bed where I can sit myself up. And so when I used to do that, I wouldn't get heartburn because I would sit up, like I would, sit up, and I would try to at least wait 30 minutes. But I still would wake up stuffed and feeling like I, just ate when I got up. And who wants to feel like that? I feel like when you wake up, you should feel like your stomach is empty and ready for the day. And I think that's fasting is so great. If you're one of those people that eat late, then you push back your eating in the morning, or if you want to, if you should, whether you do or not. But so for me, I don't cut. So when I had that Friday night live, no, I did not eat. I just drank this water, with the electrolytes in there, and that was fine. But I was hungry when I woke up. Like I was ready to eat when I woke up on Saturday. And I was supposed to go out to breakfast, and I thought, geez, I'm gonna blow some calories out now. I was supposed to go to breakfast after I met up with my dad, but he didn't feel like going, so we did not go. And so, yeah. So I ate something a little bit high calorie though. So those calories probably, balance themselves out. So that is my week, my week 72 and 73. I don't know. You guys are probably seeing a lot of things in the comments. So what we're going to do is I want you to take a guess. What do you think based on what I told you? Now, my last weight, I think, was 232.2. So where do you think I am at today? How many do you guys think I lost? Do you think I gained? And And if so, if you want to take a guess on how much I gained or how much I lost, that would be cool too. So what do you think? What do you think? I see something about some degenerates. What? Jeez, Louise. Let me, I don't know if you can tell when somebody's standing up, but here I am. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if that's going to make a difference, if you can see my size or not. But look at this belly. I'm trying to get rid of this belly. My little crappie top. I won't wear this outside. I'm only wearing this right now. I have somewhere to go after this. I'll be changing my outfit, but this is what we wear around the house. But what do you think? Do you think I'm up? Do you think I'm down? Do you think I'm turned around? Am I up? Did I go down? Did I maintain? I could have maintained. What did I do? Jeez, Louise. I'm sitting here. It's so funny. You can see yourself. Thank you for the compliments. I said I'm just going to start taking the compliments in and stop saying, oh, but, oh, this, oh, that. Just thank you. But I look so much like my mom. It's not even funny. Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, you do.
My daughter said, yes, you do. So just imagine me a size 2'4" on with this face. That's my mom. Like, a small lady, but we look just alike. Um, let's see. Let's see. Oh my goodness. I don't feel as bloated today. My PMS symptoms were going down. I hope you guys are getting ready for it. We're going to have a menopause party. When I hit that menopause, we're going to have a party. I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to invite. Like, I feel like I need to invite some folks.
You're gonna invite me.
Well, yeah, of course. Of course. All right. So what are you guys saying? Are you predicting? Okay. Let's see. So we have more people to join us. I'm going to go in the chat after I share my weight. Are you guys? So Mark, hello, Mark. He says, I think you are down. Okay. Sandra says 1.2. Okay. That's my other weight loss twin. How are you? Okay. She says, you stay reducing and you look great. And Downsizing Diva. Yes, thank you. But that reducing, I'm slow and steady for the most part, right? So we'll see. Let's see. Slim's in the making. Things I'm down. Okay, let's see. Yes, take the compliments. I do the same, and I need to give myself that advice. Yes, you do. You do. Yeah, my little Dee is on it. I didn't even think she was listening. So see, that's why you got to be careful what you're saying. These kids are listening. Okay, you look great. Okay, let's see. It's Darium says 38 amazing folks here, but 17 likes. Can we run up those likes? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so here is my weight. Let's see. Let's see. Let me remove this. I'm down 1 pound. Dun, 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 dun. Hey. Dun, 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 dun. Hey. Dun, 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 dun. Hey. Dun, 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 dun. Hey. I am down 1 pound. I was at 232.2, I guess correctly. I'm at 231.2. I can't remember sometimes what I did yesterday to remember this weight. So, I love that. I love that. And my non-skill victories is I am moving more. I'm one of those folks that used to, I would park so close to stuff just so I wouldn't have to walk when I park. I've been trying to do, a little bit less of that. Having my daughter go upstairs to get things for me. And if you have kids, can you relate to that? I've been, instead of having my daughter go upstairs and get things for me, I would say to her, I'll get it, honey. I'll ask her and then I'll say, no, I'll get it. And she thinks she did something wrong. And I told her, no, I just want to do it. Right. So I've been being intentional. Did you watch that video? Who remembers what the name of that syndrome is? Where they say if you don't move, in addition, not just like, okay, I exercise an hour a day. What is that syndrome called? Who remembers from my video? What is that called when you're not moving and you're sitting? And that makes me want to get up right now. What is that video called? What is that video called? Put it in the chat if you remember. What is that syndrome called? Anybody remember? What is it called? Dun, dun. Oh, Sandra got it. She got it in there. It's called the sedentary death syndrome. Yes, yes, yes. And we don't want to get that. Yes, thank you, Darian. Yes, thank you, Mail to the B. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, so that has really got me thinking. I gotta get my buns moving. I gotta get up. I gotta, instead of doing, ideally what I want to do is hit that treadmill for like at least 10 or 15 minutes. I got another little toy. I'm gonna have to show you one day my personal gym. So I bought a new little toy. And I'm gonna get on that thing and show you what it looks like. I don't have to have my daughter record me. I think you got to put it together. So I may have my dad come by tomorrow and do that if I can't put it together. If it's like nails, I don't even want to deal with it. The only nails I want to deal with are these. So I might have my dad, but I can put things together. I am a good assembler, I will say. So yeah, so I've been taking those extra steps. So that's my my non-scale victory. And then I've also been working hard in that Pilates class. I've been working hard in Pilates. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing to keep it moving, to keep it moving. So I didn't really think I was going to be down. I thought I'm not eating enough to lose anything. I thought this is crazy. Like what? How would I be stuck because I'm not eating? So isn't that something else? Like if you eat too much, you gain weight. If you eat too little, sometimes you can even not lose weight. So it's a fine balance, whatever that is. You kind of got to get it in there. So I'm with you though. I have not been monitoring my low carbs. I think I've been eating low carbs because I've just been eating, right? Look, I'm going to show you again, like an example of what I'm eating. No. Here, I've been eating stuff like that. And I've been trying to, prioritize that protein. I haven't really been eating snacks, but next week is going to be, is it next week? Next week into that second week, and then I'm headed out of town. I'm just gonna have so much opportunity to pick up weight. My goal is just not to gain weight. So I was telling Mel and Bellflower yesterday that last year in July, I lost 2 pounds, I think, for the whole month. That's my birthday month. And everybody is calling, trying to get together, trying to hang out, and so I have little things scheduled here and there and everywhere. So one of the things I said I would do is schedule some of that stuff for breakfast. I could no such luck. I try to have breakfast with some of these retired ladies, and they're like, well, lunch. So hopefully some of the places I could still order, maybe wherever we go, I could still order maybe like breakfast menu items and just eat light, instead of, eating, my favorite thing to eat is fried shrimp and fried French fries. Like French fries are my favorite. I don't eat steak. I don't eat lobster. I don't eat crab. And really lobster and crab might be a better better than fried shrimp because, right, the shrimp is fried. I don't like lobster. I don't like fried. I do like a crab cake though. So yeah, so I don't really eat that kind of stuff. That's why I say I've just really been a carb girl. So to go without those carbs and lower those carbs and watch those carbs are good. I got some green grapes down there. Grapes are a little bit, if you had to list a low carb, fruit, berries are the lowest in carbs, but I don't have any berries anymore. So I'm going to be eating some of those grapes today. And so yeah, so I haven't really monitored. I'm trying to get this app going that I want to switch. I want to switch from FitnessPal to this different app, and I just haven't had time to do that. When I plan to do it on Friday, something happening, to just throw me totally off for the whole entire day. So so I haven't had a chance to do that, but it is what it is. This experience is just, I always say a trial and error, and that's what it is. Mel to the B. She says you skipped messages, down 2.6 pounds, relieved you have your energy back. Yes, I'm feeling good today. I am feeling good today. Thank you. And okay, so I took it Thursday. So this is Sunday. So it took Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 2 days, about 2 days to be. And usually I'm not really down and out and just not feeling well when I take an injection. Yeah, I have energy like enough to go to work. So I might have to rethink, taking it on a Saturday now, or maybe a Friday night, right after work, because I can't imagine going to work with, 25 8-year-olds and having energy. So I'm gonna have to rethink that probably. All right, so let me go back up in this chat. What are you guys saying? I'm gonna skip the hellos, just because for some folks, some people I didn't even acknowledge. Nia Harjarine, how are you? How are you? Happy Sunday, ladies. I saw Bellflower. Kate, hello. She says she's from Seattle. I love that. Very good. And then I saw Joe. Let's see. Who else? It's Z. How are you? I didn't see her earlier in the chat. Let's see who else came. Mabel, how are you? How are you? My mom had a good friend named Mabel. Ask and you shall receive. This is a good example of advocating for yourself, which we as women especially need to do more of. Yes, thank you, Mel. Thank you. I'm inclined to believe you. Surely one day of staying up for over 24 hours weeks ago would not still be affecting me. Oh my goodness. And you know what? I have stayed up over 24 hours. I was hanging out with my cousin. It's a guy cousin in Atlanta. Me and my girl cousin were hanging out with him. And geez Louise, when I tell you he had us up all night long, I had never stayed up literally all night, other than college studying. I'll take that back. But like not up doing something like having fun from place to place and doing this and that. Like we literally got in the house. Like when I was in college, sometimes I pulled all-nighters, but I was like in my dorm, right? So yeah, I mean, we were just hanging out. Oh, geez. I already opened a restaurant in Atlanta. Maybe we should visit down there. Okay. Let's see. Glad I worked everything out. Thank you. Yes, me too. Mark, it was scary. I was just thinking like, geez, Louise, this is crazy. Express Scripts. And Express Scripts is a PBM. It's all right with me. I just got my 3-month supply for $38. I was paying $43 per box before. Yes, and I even paid $25. So I need to get back on that. Turtle Diaries, how are you? How are you? I watched your latest video and I was driving and watching it. So I need to go back, circle back and comment. It's good. It's always good to see you back. Always. Who else came in here? Oh, AP Kim. She says, hello, Kim J. Sweet Healthy Live. Okay, very good, very good. People are saying hello to everybody. Oh, thank you. It was good. It was delicious. I'm going to say it's giving taco salad. Yes. It looks good. Thank you. And I added those cucumbers. They don't go with a taco salad, but I just thought for the skin of it all, for the, cucumbers that has lots of water, I thought I'm doing that, right? And then, I was looking at my dad said he had bought a watermelon. He picks the best watermelons. He said, I got a half of it for you. I said, okay. So I had watermelon. Well, he didn't bring it over yet, but I had watermelon a couple of weeks ago at my daughter's friend's house. I could have either had I could have had an M&M ice cream sandwich. I could have had some kind of wafers they were eating. I could have had like a little snack cake, and I chose the watermelon. But I was thinking that whole time, like, geez, I wonder how many carbs it was. Well, they said 2 cups of those watermelon balls. Now, these were bigger than just probably, I don't know what size the watermelon balls would be, but they said it was 24 grams of carbs, and I thought that was pretty low. So I need to look that up again. But anyway, it was a healthier choice. And no matter how many carbs was in there, when you taking the nutrition, that other stuff has zero nutrition, watermelon, and if it has nothing but all that water in it, right? That's what I needed, right? So yeah, so it's like, geez, Louise, what do you choose? What do you choose? So I made a good choice for myself. I was glad about that. Okay, where did I leave off? Oh, she says, yes, Nicole, it's given elevated taco salad. She said elevated. Oh my God. Hey, Mindy. She said she just got off with her. Look at that emoji. Which, that's so funny. I was talking to my friend yesterday and I was telling her, things have been going on. We had talked in a couple weeks and she started telling me about her mom. And she's like, now I know you lost your mom. I don't want to complain. She said, but she was telling me, I said, that's okay. I get it. I get it. It's so funny. The whole mom thing. Okay. Let's see. Mindy, you are so funny. Mayor Mindy, by the way, I should say Mayor Mindy. That name has really stuck with you. Okay, I scrolled down, I think too much. Okay. I'm sorry. I gotta get I should put on my little glasses. I shared this on my live. I bought some shades, and one of the glasses was readers, and I didn't know I needed readers, because remember, I just went to the eye doctor. And when I tell you, you guys have been to the eye doctor, for those of you who have been, they show you this little tiny fine print, and I found I was like trying to struggle. I was on the struggle bus trying to try to read that fine print, but it was so small. And on my phone, the first thing I do when I get up in the morning before I get out of bed is before I get out of bed, I get on my phone and I start making comments. I'll try to watch some videos, and if I can, I put my little earphones in and I'll try to watch some videos. And I may or may not always comment, but I try to get, I always try to get to my comments. And then I have a section of mentions, and it's like so many people have mentioned me in their videos. Some content creators, I didn't even know I was mentioned. I don't get a notification on my phone. I just found out because I was in my analytics. And I was like, I didn't even know that. So now my goal is to go back, and they tell you, and I don't know what viewers do, but mine tells me the stamp. Like, so they talked about you at like 1641, So I want to go back and watch those videos. So that's on my list of things to do. Things to do. But so anyway, so yeah, so it's just so I just lost my train of thought here. Let me keep it moving. I cracked my own self up. I don't know what I was talking about, but whatever it was, it's not that important because I can't remember it. Okay, so you guys are saying I look good. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's so funny. I was telling Mel and Bellflower yesterday that went to Lane Bryant, right? And I bought this. I was just looking around because when I go to my little family reunion, it's like they have days like 70s day. The first day we come in, and then they have a black and white night. And so they were like, they were telling me, don't go out and buy a fancy dress. Now I got two black and white dresses hanging behind me that I had before, couldn't fit, and I can fit in them now, but I don't think they're cute, like, what I'm saying, like I would want to wear for that. So I said, let me see if I could find something else. And she was like, we're just wearing a blouse and some slacks. We're not, decking ourselves out. So I said, okay. So I was like, let me go in this Lane Bryant. So my daughter and I, after we left my dad on Saturday, we went in there. And so I had a dress and a shirt. The shirt was a 14-16. It fit, but I just didn't like it. It was just okay. I felt like in Texas, I'm going to be hot up in here. And so I didn't get that shirt, but I had this dress. It was a black dress. So I tried it on and it fit, but I felt like it fit too tight, like a little bit too tight. Like I could wear it, and it's probably how every woman wears their shirt. But I just have a thing about like my fat rolls showing. I don't want them to show. So, and it was just like a little bit. Now, my mom always used to tell me to wear spandex, but I said, coming from a lady who doesn't need spandex, like I don't like spandex. I don't like anything like all up on me like that close. Maybe that's why I don't have a husband. So I didn't want to wear the spandex, but I probably could wear like some spandex, and then it just would be like it just extremely stream, down the road, or lose 5 pounds, like whichever comes first. The spandex is probably my best bet, right? So, I said I could wear this dress. So Bellflower, I think, said maybe you should get the dress, and that could be like a goal. And I debated about getting it because I could wear it anywhere. But again, I don't want to sit down, and because this was standing up, and I don't want to sit down and then be like, yeah, you sit down and something is too tight, and you're like, you can't move, you can't crack a smile. So I don't want to be like that, but I don't think I will be. I think maybe in a couple of weeks it will loosen down, it will loosen up a little bit more, because I think I'm losing some inches here and there. so, but my daughter, when she found out, she was in the dressing room with me, and she zipped it up, actually, at the back of it. And so she said, Mom, you're not getting that dress. I said, no. She's like, you look beautiful in it. I'm telling you, you should get that dress. That dress was so pretty. So I think I may go back and get it. I don't know. But yeah, I was like, geez, Louie. Okay, what do you guys say? So a lot of people thought I was down. Okay, very good. Thank you. All the congratulations. Um, Let me just put these little messages up here. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Darian, for reminding us to like the video. All right, so that is it. One of the things I wanted to talk about too, is, and then we'll celebrate you guys. So the sedentary death syndrome, that is the video topic. Tracy, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? Mark says 75 pounds is awesome. Thank you, Mark. Yes, you guys got that sedentary death syndrome. Hey, losing it with Grace, or losing it Grace. I always say that with. I'm still gonna start calling you just Grace. But you have a video too that I thought was so awesome. I was like, I was listening to it, but I want to sit down and watch it and look at the pictures you have in there. Somebody was asking me about, we were talking about my hair, and they were saying, I can't imagine you with different hairstyles. So even if you don't watch the video, like watch the first 30 seconds though, because that's a view. But go back to that hair video that I did. I have in there pictures of my hair over the years. Like, so, I like straight hair. I've always, but I do wear curly hair, like crochet type curly hair. I just haven't done that yet. I'm surprised I haven't worn it, because I would do wear it in the summer. Guys, because I haven't seen my hairstylist. Remember, my hairstylist went on vacation. I think I have a hair appointment coming up this next week. So I have to think of something creative for Texas, or just wear it like this and wear a hat, because it's going to be hot in Texas. I don't know. That might block the sun from my face. So I don't know what I'm doing for Texas, but I always wore ponytails. I have worn braids. If you go to that video about my hair and, hair loss on the GLP-1, it was like a month or so ago. If you look, you got to actually watch the video and look at the screen to see the pictures. And there's pictures on there of me in a ponytail. I used to wear ponytails all the time. Somebody was like, you should wear a ponytail. I've been there, done that. I wore ponytails. I was wearing that. I'm one of those people, if I like something, I stick to it until I go to the next thing. So I was always wearing a ponytail. My hairstylist, it was a different one at the time. And she would say, you need to get something different. So I've had different. I had the salt and pepper hairstyle where it was shaved. I show that in one of the videos I made. I think it's like the 20. What's it called? It's called the 20 non-skill victories videos. Like, if you watch this video, in that video, I show a picture of my hair back in the day, where I had the sides were shaved down. I had, hair at the top and some longer hair in the back. So every style they've had, I used to have my hair shaved for prom. I had it shaved off to one side. It was it looked like that Moni Love. I don't know if you guys know who Moni Love is. I think she used to wear her hair like that. Salt and Pepper certainly wore their hair like that. And they said that by accident they cut their hair like that. Mine was on purpose to copy them. Because I used to love that. So I've had some styles over the years. And as you get older, for me, some of you might just be hot and, keeping it going. I just have gotten more conservative as I've gotten older. So yeah. So anyway, so just in case the hair thing. And this is so funny. People are like, for your hat. And then I was rocking those glasses. I'll be rocking glasses. I bought a bunch of glasses during that Amazon Prime, and one of them are readers that I'm going to need when I'm looking at this fine print in the chat. And so, but I would never wear a hat. You cannot pay me to wear a hat. Now I'm all about the hats. So it's just like, in your life, you go through phases, you go through things. And I would say, I'm never wearing hats. Like, my mom would always try to get me to wear a hat. I said, no way. And look at me now. So that's why I say never. A girl has a right to change her mind. Never say never. So let's see. What are you guys saying? I think I scrolled down. Okay. Let's see. So if you're down and have not been eating enough, just imagine next week. I think your body will reward you. I hope so. But I have I'll be going out to some restaurants. I'm just worried about, when you're at a restaurant, even that water retention is a thing. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But let me think positive, Mel. You're right. I am going to come down. And it's like funny. What if I lost 5 pounds? Geez Louise, I can make that 80 pounds by my birthday. I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm not even going to put that out in the atmosphere. We got the beautiful men in here too. Yes. Oh gosh. If you didn't see that live we had on Friday, you got to go watch the last 30 minutes. I mean, that tickled me how those men just came up in there. You got to watch it. If you weren't there, you got to go watch it. Just watch the last 30 minutes if you don't want to sit through the 2.5 hours or 2 hours. It might have been just 2 hours. I say just, but I think my longest live was almost 4 hours. And that was back in October of 2024. So yeah, uh, it was a fun time, though. It was a fun time. Let's see. King Darium is up in the house. Glad you're getting that energy back, Didi. Thank you. Okay, people are saying hello. Linda, hello. Look how beautiful you are. And I love the black and white. She says, what app are you planning to use instead of my fitness pal? Well, I haven't downloaded it yet. I don't even know the name of it. I'm gonna let you guys know on Wednesday. So that'll give you an incentive to watch on Wednesday. I'm gonna let you know what app it is on Wednesday. I haven't used it yet, so I don't even know. It's like I got a tip to use this app, and I just haven't tried it or downloaded it yet. And really, it's people want me to promote it to you guys, but I won't do that until I actually use it for myself. So they may have given me the boot by now. I don't know. Can you tell I'm just not, these sponsorship things and all of that. It all sounds great, but like I say, I have to be actually doing something before I can actually recommend it. But I am coming up with something to share what I know about stocks. It's so funny. Today I was having a conversation with one of my retirement friends. She's in her 70s. She's been retired. And I was asking her because my meeting is coming up this week soon. And I was calling to ask her. We were on the phone almost an hour and a half talking. And one of the things that I was talking to her about was, her husband is into stock trading and doing some trading and all this stuff. And we were talking, and I told her, I was trying to come up with a way to share it with this community, doing videos. I'd have 3 videos about, staying out of debt and trying to make money to help pay for your meds and all that. And YouTube doesn't push those out, and those are not high, watched videos. If it was on a financial channel, it might be. And I just don't have the time, energy, or effort to start that right now. So I'm saving that for retirement. But in the meantime, I'm trying to come up with a way that I could bring this to the group, and people are interested, they are, and if not, they're not. But yeah, it's gosh, the stock market now, I know people think that this is the time because it's so volatile to back up off of it. Actually, I haven't been paying as much attention to it because I've been involved in this, and my family and my daughter, and just it's been a whirlwind. I can't even believe it's July. These are the time when rich people are buying. Rich people are in it. Rich people who make money off stock. This is the time to be in it. It's the time when people fear the stock market is when other people get rich off of it. So just remember that. When people are afraid, because somebody just said this to me the other day, like, I'm not getting into this. This is the time to get in there. This really is, because it's like a sale. It's like telling somebody, don't go to Whole Foods because they got a sale. Well, that's the time to go. So you got to think about it like that. But I realize people don't know. So I'm going to bring it to you from a teacher perspective and give you the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and break it down. And if you don't know how to invest in the stock or get a stock after I, share with you what I'm creating, then you got to talk to me personally. You got to set up a call and you got to talk to me personally, because I'm going to break it down so easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And so then when we all meet up, we're going to all have some extra money because we would have invested, and then we would have a year. Next summer, we're planning a Divalicious, fantastic weekend or a couple of days or a day, whatever it turns out to be. And you're going to have some money to go because you're going to be making money on this information I'm going to share with you. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't even want to be one. If I could be one, I do have a friend that is one. And so I'm going to run this by her, before I share it, like what she thinks about it. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, so yeah, let's see. Turtle Diary says, I do miss those Friday night lives. My son's schedule has been keeping me from attending. Oh, we miss you too. They are fun, aren't they? They are fun. I mean, this one, I don't know. This one was a good one. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to say something else about that. But we did have a weight loss. We did have like a dating expert come. So we're going to have her come back. She has a program out, and we have somebody involved in that program that's going to come and share. So I have so many good things cooking up on my channel that I can't get it together fast enough. Okay, let's see. What are you guys saying? Somebody's saying something to Graze. I kind of lost my place. Okay, I saw that Mel made that comment. Okay. Mark is here. Are you guys seeing the guys that are here? Mark, Darian. Is Paul in the bushes? Paul might be hiding in the bushes somewhere. Let's see. You said we could meet you in Atlanta. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We're deciding where we want to go. Maybe we should go to Atlanta. I was telling them Atlanta's a cool spot. And my other cousin and I, we talked about going to his restaurant in Atlanta. So I don't know if it's still open or not, but yeah, I think it's a seafood restaurant. So that's like right up my alley. So yeah, we'll have to see where we want to go. We just want to meet up. We don't care. She has the names down. Paul, Devin, Teddy, you're getting called out. Didi, there are so many of us that talk about you in our videos, in the chat. Loads of people quote your tips. Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. Well, I did see that, but I don't know. How do they know are people saying, because some people don't add me. If you add a person in your video, like in the description or something, you would know. So when I saw all these mentions, I was like, where did these come from? So I guess, but YouTube knows, right? Because, you realize everything we're saying. That's why you got to kind of be careful with what you're saying in these lives, because YouTube, they're analyzing it. That's why if I go to try to, take, like, sometimes I cut my little intro down on my live. And when I do that, I have to wait. I don't know if it's exactly 24 hours, but it's a time, and they're processing that video, and anything that seems suspicious or not up to YouTube standard, they're going to ding it. And so that's why we can't talk about certain, medications and experimental things going on. Like, that stuff is a no-no. So my mods are on it. They might delete your comments if you're saying stuff like that, because, I don't want to get dinged for that. But yeah, so anyway, Joe, yeah, so I saw that, and I'm really, I need to like just sit down and like look at those and really respond to people, because I just think that's awesome when people, consider you enough to mention your name. Grace is pronounced as Grace, right? Or am I tripping? That's what it sounds like you say in your videos. Oh, are you saying Grace? That's a good question. Funny what we do when we're younger. I used to channel Madonna, Salt and Pepper, Sade, Hallie. Shall I proceed? Yes, indeed. Shall I proceed? Yes, indeed. Remember that, Mel? Cat in the hat line. Yes, Cat. I probably wear this today. Bam. I love this hat. This is my straw hat. Maybe that's what I'll do in Texas, because Texas is the hat. My daughter, this is so funny. My daughter said, Mom, we got to get some fans and some boots. And I have these boots. Maybe I'll show you the boots on a Friday night. And I'll talk about this on Friday, but I have some boots, but I'm like, isn't it going to be too hot for some boots in Texas? I just don't know about that. Okay. She says, oh, we need to see photos, Melby. So my photos are in my video, the hair video I have. You can see. Empower Wellness by Teddy D. How are you? How are you? Okay, we got another mail up in here. Let's see. Dee, not medical advice, hashtag, but someone with type 2 diagnosis, it's important to get annual diabetic eye exams. Diabetic retinopathy is real. So yes, I get one every single year. And it's so funny because she told me my eyesight was great. Meanwhile, when I put these babies on, Darian, I put these on to read my little comments from the comment section, and geez, oh man, I mean, I just discovered it. I unboxed my Amazon finds on my membership live Saturday. It was yesterday, Saturday, yes. And they were like, you didn't know those were readers? I did not. I just know the print is bigger, and I'm loving it. So you might see me with those. Of course, I won't wear them when there's a hat because it just they clash. But I did have my hat on Saturday and had my glasses. But I'm gonna be rocking these glasses. Rocking these glasses. Okay, let's see. Where did I leave off? Thanks for that, Darium. Kirsten's memories. Hi, Dee Dee. Better late than never. Thanks for joining. I appreciate that. Well, okay, losing it with Grace. Yes, Taisha, my parents named me after Grace Kelly, but they spelled it phonetically, so it would be easier to pronounce in Spanish. Oh my goodness. So do you want me to call you Grace? Do you want me to call you Grace? If I can't even remember to say losing it, Grace. Oh my goodness. All right, that's a beautiful name. Beautiful. Either way it is. Okay, let's see. It's okay to be a part of the replay nation at Turtle Diaries. Yes, yes, yes. Friday night lives are always off and popping. Yes, we have a good time. Oh, you are welcome. You are welcome. What a beauty. I love it. I love it. I love these profile pics. Looking forward to Wednesday's live. Yes, yes, yes. And the topic I want to talk about, I like to have topics on those days. And I'm going to talk about a good topic. So I think you all can relate to this. I think sometimes I change. Like I get I say, oh, I got a topic in mind. And then I get to Tuesday and I change my mind and want to do something else. But yeah, so I'll put that, I'm going to try to get that up Tuesday because I may change it, but I think it's something we all can relate to. Let's see. When the stock market went down a few months ago, I put money in. Yes, 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 yes. And you're going on those fabulous cruises. Now I see why. Love it, love it, love it. Still waiting for Eli to split. It doesn't need to split though. Okay, geez, Louise. I don't want to get into my stock tangent, but you can buy Eli Lilly now. Maybe I'll just do a live where I show you guys. I don't know because I don't go live during the day, but my other account that I'm going to be, talking to you guys about if you're interested, where I, just kind of, deviled my money slowly over time. And that's all you do have is time to like sit and let that money grow. I'm going to talk about this slow and steady, like my weight loss way, because the fast way, I've lost a ton of money, but I've also made a ton of money. So you got to have money to burn. I wouldn't share that way unless you set up something private, because then people will be trying to sue me. And I don't want to be sued because you don't know what you're doing, right? Because I don't even have it down totally with it. I just know because I just don't have the time to, right? If you're going to be trading those options, you got to be on it. But you can buy Eli Lilly stock now. I'm going to have to go back and revisit that because I haven't done it in a while. But I bought the stock. Put $50 in. And I say, I'm going to let Eli Lilly pay for my groceries. And so far, because this presidential shift and, all the things that have been going on, Eli Lilly has dipped down. I mean, it's like $200 down. Actually, now is a good time to buy. It was the highest. It was in 9 something. I can't remember the exact number. And you guys could look it up. It was in the 900s. I thought it hit 1,000. I made $700 off of Eli Lilly going up, in that, I think it was the summer of 2024. So you can do it though. You can do it. Just buy a partial share. So take $50. Anybody in here, take $20. But I'm going to tell you what brokerages are, where to go, how to do it. So I'm working on that. So, and it's not too late because now they're in the 700s. I don't know if anybody has a stock app on your phone. Let me look that up. But Eli Lilly, last time I looked, it was $700 and something. But anyway, this is why I feel so comfortable to retire, because I have a different avenue. I know how to make money, right? In other ways, if I needed to. And so, and I just haven't had the time. So I feel, so knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So I'm going to teach you guys, but you guys have to, practice it, because I'm the type of person, if you're a teacher, you're always in staff development, right? You're always learning something. Have you ever read a book and thought, I'm going to apply this to my life, and you just never get to it, right? You never get to it. So I'm going to give you the information, and then I'm going to set up something where we can interact. It probably won't be on YouTube, so that people want to ask questions, and I want you to have read the material that I'm going to give you. It's going to be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Are you going to understand it easily? No, that's why we might need a follow-up class where we actually meet. But this is going to be like the basics of how to do it. And like I said, I want you to take what you make, what you earn, and bring it to the Downsizing Diva in the summer next year. So yeah, so we'll see. But this is not quick, fast money. This is just being knowledgeable. I mean, you could share this information with your kids. Like, you got to try to produce generational wealth for your kids. If your parents didn't do that for you, now you could do that for your kids. And you could do it by starting today. Starting today. I'm in my 50s and I'm still investing because I'm planning on living for 30, 40 more years. So, if I don't get to spend what I'm going to, make and compound the interest over time, my daughter will spend that. If she doesn't spend it, my cousins will. Somebody in my family bloodline will be better off. Don't try to take me out of here, though, because you want to be better off, because you may not be in my trust. Jeez, Louise, I cracked my own self up. Jazzy, how are you? We have a new member. I love that. I love that. I told you, whenever I see you in here, it's like home. One of my BFFs, and what good friends is her name is Jazzy too. I call her Jazzy J. I was just talking to her. That's the girl I was talking about earlier when I was talking about this live. Thank you for joining. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm trying to get that out. I'm trying to get that whole the investment stuff out. Every time I work on it, I'm telling you, I'm not even kidding. I was like, I'm gonna sit down and focus and get it out and just get it together. And then I had a family situation that started at like 7-8. Well, it was like 6 or 7 a.m. And so then it just threw me off for the whole entire day. Then remember on Fridays, then I didn't feel well on top of that. And then I went live. So, and then yesterday I was, doing things with my dad, which brings me to today. And then I have like something to go to. I have one of my cousins, her daughter graduated from college. So I'm going over there after this. So it's always something, but I'm going to get that together because that's needed. That is just needed. All right, let's see. I scrolled down way too far because I went down to Jazzy. This is so funny. You said you wanted to channel Aaliyah. I say Aaliyah, but isn't it Aaliyah? Back in the day, I loved her. I did too. She was so awesome. She really was. Jeez, Louise, you hate to see someone like that go so soon. With that waist now, you could definitely channel her. Taisha would have to wear her hair long with it over her eye. It would have to cover her eye. You remember she used to wear that hair to cover her eye, almost like an eye patch type of thing. And she used to wear the eye patches too. Remember that? You said definitely interested. Yes. Thank you. Kirsten, you and I need to talk. I have bills to pay, so I need stock advice. Yes. I love that. Stocks is real. Just buy low and sell high. Buy low, sell high. Simply Taisha, message us with some locations that are good with some good vegan options. Okay. All right. Very good. I really love to try a good vegan restaurant for the first time. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mel. It's $793 right now. Okay. Very good. So it went up because the last time I looked at it, it was $773. But just think, you guys, just think if it was $773 when I saw it, 73. Now it's 793, right? So what's that? $20. So just think, people who have tons of money to just put in there, they're in and out. So now I don't know if people would sell it with just going up $20. Just imagine when it goes up to $893 and $100. And if you had $2,000 or $3,000 in there, you could double your money. If you you could make a ton of money. If you had an options play, you would make more than that because it's times 100. Jeez, oh man, I haven't been in it. I need to get my butt back in there. I've been on YouTube, and honestly, you don't make money on YouTube. YouTube is, you do a little bit, you make a little bit of money, but you don't make a lot of money for all the time, energy, and effort you put in. And I wanted to say, I heard someone had asked me, is this true about you make more money when you go live on YouTube? That is not true. You have the potential to make more money because the videos are longer. So how you make money is people put, YouTube puts ads on your videos. And so during your live segment, more opportunities to make money live because the live videos are longer. Most people are streaming at least an hour to 2 hours. So that's, more opportunity to make money off those ads. Whereas if I put out my regular video, that's what, 18 to 20 minutes. People put out a 10-minute video. So if so you don't have as much opportunity to make as much on a 10-minute video. The balance of that is you might have 6,000 people watching that video that's 10 minutes versus 1,000 people that's watching that live. And so it just depends. And then of course in lives you could give super chats, and that's also helpful too. And when you give a super chat, it's like a 70-30. I've also heard somebody tell me that it was out there that they take 50% of a super chat. That's not true. If that is true, they're not doing it to the Downsizing Diva, and I don't think I'm special. So it's a 70-30 split, unless they changed it as of yesterday and I don't know about it. And I think that's fair. YouTube is free. They're not charging me to be on YouTube at all. They're not. It's free for me, just like it's free for you to subscribe to me and everybody else. So I see why they do take a split of some things that you have going on with YouTube, right? And it's just like anything else. If you pay, I don't know here, but in Ohio, everywhere you go now, if you're not paying cash, if you're paying a credit card, they're charging you. If I start processing payments through my PayPal, they're charging me for that. I sell books on Amazon, and I haven't mentioned that here because it's not it's not even related to weight loss or it's stock market or anything like that. It's educational type books that I create and sketchbooks and notebooks. And I probably won't ever bring that to this channel unless my membership, maybe I may if people are interested, but I won't bring that here. But so I pay Amazon. I don't ship the books out. I create the books. Amazon ships the books out for me. So of course I'm giving Amazon takes a cut from that, right? Because they're doing the heavy loading, right? I'm doing the creative part, but they're pushing the books out. If somebody returns a book, Amazon takes care of that, not Downsizing Diva. So when you understand business and how it works, that's how it works. So people who give out false information, they're not intentional. They just probably don't really understand it. So, and so if anybody knows to correct me, but it says, so that's not true. So if you give me a super chat, YouTube is going to take a cut. They don't take 50%. They don't. Now they do when you have your little ad revenues and, when somebody puts an ad on your video, they do take, I don't know, I want to say that might be 50% or 40%. But that's the ad revenues. That's them placing those that Jardians ad that they play all the time on my stuff. So that they're taking a bigger cut, right? Because like I say, it's free for me to be on here making these videos. Now I could put, I bought a webcam that I haven't even put up on my channel. I bought so many things to help me supplement and make my videos better. YouTube doesn't know that, but so the little bit of money you get from these videos, and then my videos, aren't, I don't have 100,000 views on my videos. So I'm not getting paid a ton of money at all on here. So I just thought I would say that because I think people have told me that. I don't know where that information came from. That's just inaccurate, right? It's just inaccurate. And like I said, I don't think that people personally, when people give out inaccurate information, I don't think they are intentionally doing that. I just think that they might not know. They may not understand, right? But if somebody could prove me wrong, because that's one thing I like to do is give out factual information. But I can look at my, I get super chats, and I can look at my super chats and tell they're not taking 50% out. I could just look at that and tell. But yeah, they are taking a portion of that. But like I say, I consider it like a processing kind of like situation because you're on their platform for free. And where do you know that people are going to let you be on their platform for absolute free and make money? They're going to have to, in order for them. Now, is it too much like the medication? Yeah, maybe, probably so. People might feel like that, but they're going to have some kind of overhead. Just like if you were a beautician and you're renting out a booth, you think they're going to let you rent the booth for free? No, they're going to charge you a cut. So anyway, I digress. If you were interested in starting a channel though, and you have any questions about it, ask me, because I'll help you out. I will help you out. And I probably need help too. I listen to some of these gurus, and sometimes they don't always tell you the best thing. I think the best experience being a teacher, it was what I could tell anybody, is the best experience is doing it. So I could sit here and tell you all day how to sign up to, a brokerage, how to, get that stock, find the stock, pick the right stock, how to do it all. You just listening to me is one thing. Having it written so you can see it and actually you doing it that's how you're going to learn it. Not by me telling you, but you actually doing it. So yeah. So off that, how did I even get off on that tangent? Who asked me that question? Okay, Mel. She was saying this. Oh, I think it was Grace who said she can't afford stock. So you can, Grace. If you didn't learn anything else today, you can afford that Eli Lilly. No, she says well, it doesn't matter though. You want to make money. So you're telling me you want to make potentially, I don't want to put anything in because instead of $100, I want to make $500. I know you're not telling me that. That doesn't make sense. I'm just going to be honest with you. So, like you're saying, I can't buy the whole stock. I don't want to buy any of it at all. No, you want to still buy what you can afford, and then you make a little bit. You could double your money. So, let's say you put $40, and down the road, you double that to $80. That's $40 that you didn't have. If you know somebody who's just giving you $40, share that person's name with me because I want to contact them and get my $40. I am so passionate about this, about stock trading and stocks, because when you don't understand it, it's just easy to say that, right? But when you think about it like that, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You don't know. I told some other people, I'm gonna say this is a big content creator, and I told them you do not need to buy a whole Eli Lilly share. You could buy partial stocks. And I saw them again. I saw the person again, talk to them. I bought that partial share or stock, and they just don't know how to do it. So I realized that. So when you don't know, that's why I'm going to be here to like fill you in. And I thought for sure they were going to go and buy that stock. They said they don't really understand it, and I get that. So yeah. But when it comes to stocks, if you can buy a partial share, and I'm going to tell you too, another thing too about stocks is when the company splits, you look at it. I'm not telling you anything that's like you can't research on your own. When a company splits and makes it easier to buy, that stock usually goes down, right? So you buy the stock. Let's say Eli Lilly split and would split into, you get 10 stocks for the price of one. So each stock now is worth 100. So let's say they did a 1-to-7 split, and each stock would be worth 100. And you say, oh, now I could buy that stock. Well, I'm going to tell you, probably the next 6 months, that stock is now going to be down. People, it goes up initially because BlackRock and all those other big firms are buying, and then they know what they're doing. It cools down. You lose money. You probably lose money if you don't sell once all those big people get in. It happened with Tesla. It happened, not the first, I don't think the first split. Some of these companies have split multiple times. It happens with a lot of them, Microsoft, Apple. I mean, look it up. You'll see. The stock split doesn't always mean you're going to make money. It just means now you could buy in cheaper. But I'm just saying, if you could still buy at $7.93, now you might want to make that wait till that baby split goes down a little bit more, because it'll go down once somebody else comes up with a great study about how their weight loss drug, in trial in stage 1. It doesn't even have to be stage 3. Stage 1. If something comes out that says, oh, they're beating Eli Lilly, this drug was up, you lost 25% of your weight. Eli Lilly stock drops. That's when you bump in there. You put your $100 in. This time next year you'll probably have another $100. Now that was easy for me to say. Now that this administration has changed, they're doing all kind of tricks and stuff. I don't know. You got to really watch it. I love live streams. They are so much fun. They take 30% from me. Okay, so yours is 30. Well, it's from everybody. I just think people are misinformed. And I just said that for me because I don't like people to feel bad. It's like, this is a learning experience. Like, we all should be willing to learn. And if you find me doing or saying something wrong, let me know, because I'm not beyond learning. You could share this Amazon link to your books in the description. Yeah, but I don't really want to. I don't want that to be this. If I am bringing something to this group, I want it to be either the stock stuff that you can purchase, some information, or I want it to weight loss. I really don't want it to, because that's like my teacher life. Maybe once I retire, I'll share it, share what I with what I'm doing with that. And I get my little check. It's not that much money because I'm not the best advertiser. You can see people would be like, "You're crazy. You need to be advertising it on Facebook. You need to be advertising it on your YouTube. You got almost 3,000 followers." No, no, no. I just choose not to. Um, right now. So, maybe one day I will. But thank you, Joe. I know you would definitely support, and I appreciate that. Wow. She says, "She's give me your cash app." I think it's totally worth it. Taisha said 40% goes to the ads. Okay, yeah, I didn't think it was 50. I think it was 50 or 40. Yeah, and you can upload 4K videos and don't have time to pay for processing and storage. Yes, yes, yes. I can't wait to see your video or live on stocks. Well, I've already done them. You have to go back. Well, I talked a little bit about it, and I don't know if I'm going to do a video. I don't know if I'm going to do a video. I want to do something with the group because I want people to be able to ask questions, but I'm going to give out the information first. If you're interested in the information, I'm going to know. It's the way I'm going to know you're interested, right? If you're interested in the information, then maybe in September-ish, I'm going to set up where people could actually, we can talk live, probably off YouTube, because YouTube is not, I'm not a financial channel, so this is not really the place for it. And then people would have to join my membership, and then people would join for a month and then quit because they only came for that. So I'm thinking of a different way I could do it. And so, yeah, so I'm excited about the potential of just helping people, right? Helping people. But if you want to go back and watch those videos, they were about getting out of debt. It was 3 lives I did in a row about getting out of debt. And I did talk about stocks, and I didn't give a whole lot of information. But again, people would just, it's like I said, you almost need something sitting there with you. Because I remember how I learned. I learned by doing. I messed up a lot of money because, I just took a chance and learned on my own, right? I didn't have like somebody guiding me through it. I've researched stuff on my own. I figured it out. And so that's how I kind of learned by doing. But I also lost a lot of money that way, right? So that's why mentorship and people helping you out is best. And honestly, that's how I purchased my home that I have. I saved up money in an account, a Vanguard account actually. And when I tell you, when I looked up that money, and I just put like a little bit in each month. When I looked up, that money had blossomed, and I was able to have enough money to put my, money down. So knowledge is power. And, I'm trying to teach that to my daughter. So one of my accounts that just really shows you guys, and I'm trying to figure out a way to share that, but it'll probably be when we go live off this, and I do get together off the platform. I'm going to show you guys like my actual portfolio and what's in it. And you can ask questions. And, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a doer, right? If I say I set my goal that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Really, the weight loss has been the only thing in my life that has really been so hard for me to do. And I could do it. I've never stuck to it, right? Because I've always just been thrown off by everything that's coming my way. And so, and just not, whatever has been that defect in me. And it has to be something because, like I say, no one else in my family really has weight issues. So whatever that GLP-1 that I was missing, and this has helped, with that, that has just really, stalled me. And I've lost weight in spurts like we all have. You lost and you gained back. And I've lost 50 plus pounds and gained it all back. And I thought, I'm never gaining this back. And I did. Plus some. I didn't gain it back, but I've gained plus some. So, but with my professional life, I'm a doer. If I say I'm gonna do something, I do it, and I'm gonna do it. If I got to give 100%, I'm gonna give 110%. So when I retire, I want people to remember me for that, and I'm pretty sure they will. Plus, I've always had great ideas, right? And that has also, been very helpful. So if you're in my class, my expectation is high. I believe every kid can learn. Every kid in my class is going to learn. Now, are you going to learn as somebody who's talented and gifted with their thinking and somebody who struggles to read in my grade? You're not going to learn the same pace. You might not learn the same things, but you're going to learn at your level. That's sort of how I approach this whole YouTube situation. And that's how I approach learning about finances. And I still have a lot to learn. I said, I might get myself a little mentor. If I get a mentor, I might be here sponsoring your videos. because I would have made a ton of money. What I know is somebody who could just take me to the next level. I just don't have time to go there until I retire, and have extra time. But I said all that to say, you guys, this is an awesome community. I think my goal really is, I was looking at things over the weekend. I think people have to stay positive. Stay positive. I think we got to stay positive. We got to stay positive about ourselves. We got to stay positive with other people. It's like I say to myself, would I start a channel to just talk bad about folks? Like, no, like who does that? And I see people who do that, and that could be their thing, but I don't want that to ever be my thing. So if you ever see me doing that, stop me, because I don't want that to be my thing. And actually, I want to be an influence on other people. I think the negative sales, right? The negative sales, the negative is the popular people, and I get that, and I guess I won't be that popular. Because I'm not going to be coming with the negativity. I'm going to be coming with the positive. And sometimes positive can be boring, but I think I've proven that positive can be fun. Positive doesn't have to be boring. Being a mean girl, being a mean guy, being hateful, that doesn't have to be fun, the fun thing. And I know that's kind of what your eyes are drawn to. And even me, because I think our brains are fixed that way. You see something negative, you want to click on it. Like, my weight loss is sabotage. Well, you're going to click on that versus me saying, I had the best week ever. The one that's going to get the most views is the one that says, I sabotage my weight loss. It's unfortunate, but that's kind of how we think as a society. And, as people, it is what it is. So I say all that to say, I am 75 pounds down. I am feeling good. I'm not making a ton of money on YouTube, but I am making a ton of friends, and I am being inspired a whole lot. And so I consider that a win, check, a win, check, and a win, check, check, check. So I'm going to reset my goal. I'm going to reset some goals, and I'm going to get to that 100 pounds down. I'm going to let you guys know more about that on Wednesday. We will be chatting again. Yeah, I think I have a good topic. I may change it. You may see me on the scene before Wednesday, working it out, but no, because I'm going to work on this. You guys have inspired me to work on what I want to get out to you about this trading. Because really, I do think with this whole, I see so many hiring signs up around here. I live in Ohio. I told you, everywhere I go, when I go to Texas, I'm gonna be looking for that. You see so many for hire signs, and people just don't want to work for certain companies, right? People want to have these high polished, you making jobs, and I'm telling you, being an entrepreneur is the way to go. If you can swing it, wing it, and do it, that's the way to go. If you don't already have your high paying job, it's just this AI, all this stuff. I mean, people are going to be, the successful people are already on it. If you're not already on it, we're already behind the 8 ball. And so that's what I'm going to steer my daughter toward. An entrepreneur, working for yourself, being your own boss. She is a boss lady at 8. I'm trying to raise her to be that way, teaching her about stocks and the stock market. So even if you might say, I don't need to know that, Downsizing Diva, I'm 70. Okay, well, if you have a daughter, if you have grandkids, if you have nieces, if you have nephews, they need to know it. And so that's something I'm thinking I may do, and maybe I'll try to do it in my district or somewhere else. But I really want to promote financial responsibility, because I didn't learn that. I just was told, don't put a lot of money on a credit card. That's all I was told. I wasn't told how to manage it, how to do this, because people who were in my circle didn't know. So I just kind of want to be operate a little bit differently, and I'm trying to do it in all positive ways and being as positive as I can. So thank you for watching. If you're a content creator, drop a mic, and I'll just put your name up real quick so people could come and find your channel. I sometimes forget to say that. Drop that mic. Check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2. I see we have some content creators in here. And, I talk about this a lot, too. I have a trust. I don't just have a will. So we also need to be talking about that, too, because I see so many people leaving his world, and they're having to do, what do you call those things where people raise money to have a funeral? What do you call those? Where they, what are those called?
What?
You wouldn't know, honey. What are those called? Well, guys, what is that called when you have to, when you go online and ask people to donate? Um, and usually you're paying for something, you're helping a GoFundMe. Yes, a GoFundMe. So we have so many people that need a GoFundMe when they pass, their daughter passed, their son passed, or anybody passes. So, if you don't get anything else out of today, find some cheap insurance. Find some cheap insurance because think about it. You can get it cheap too, especially if you get it young. Get insurance on your son, get insurance on your daughter. You just never know what's going to happen. People spend, quiet, honey, I'm talking. Out, please shut the door. What I will say, and this is just important to me, is that people spend more money on fast food for the kids month to month on a month to month basis than you would pay on an insurance policy for them. That is a fact. That is a fact. I know that for a fact. And get insurance on your kids. If you're around, if you don't have insurance on your kids, don't be ashamed of that. Just go out and get it. Look into it. Look into it now. I'm telling you, the younger you get insurance on somebody, the better off you'll be. And like, I have insurance through my job, but I also have a different insurance because when I retire from this job, that insurance is not going to follow me. Most jobs, insurance doesn't follow you, right? When you quit the job, when you get fired from the job, when you retire from the job, there goes the insurance. So you have to have something. And I'm telling you, it's cheaper when you're younger. So thank God I had the knowledge. And, it's not that I'm any smarter. I just had the knowledge at that time before I turned 50. If you ever look at these insurance quotes, they're quoted by age. The younger you are, obviously your lifespan is projected further. And so they don't expect you to pass, right? So you can get it pretty cheap. So on your kids, if you don't do a thing else, even if you just have that as a goal for like a Christmas gift, get insurance on your kids. I get so sad when I see people having GoFundMe for a little kid because they don't have insurance coverage at all. And these are some people you see, they're balling out of control in other areas, but they don't have that. So if you're one of those people that don't have kids, make sure your mom has insurance. Make sure your niece has insurance. Make sure somebody who you love has insurance because times is hard. We just don't know what's going on. And if you really know about money, that is an investment, having an insurance policy, depending on what kind you get. But we're just talking basics. We just want to be covered. You don't have to have $100,000 insurance. 10,000. If you just get 10,000, 20,000, that's enough to cover your loved one. And then if you still want to do a GoFundMe on top of that for whatever reason, that's fine. But you don't want to be in those situations where you can't afford anything, right? You're looking around for people to help you at that time in your life. So again, if you don't get anything else out of this video, I hope you get that. Let's see who the content creators are. Stop putting me on these tangents, guys. She says, I'm enjoying the fully retired life, just waiting on my husband to join me. That's such a blessing. And you deserve it. You know what? Because you served in our armed forces. We love you for that. That's just such a blessing. These are some amazing tips and things to learn. Yeah, well, we'll see how many people are interested once I drop the info. All right, Joe, she's a content creator. Go check her out. Check out our video. Check out our interview. Love that. Simply Taisha. Simply Taisha's a content creator. She is live on Monday. Be there or be square. I will be there. I also interviewed Taisha, so check out my interview with Taisha on my channel. Empowered Wellness by Teddy. Check him out. He's new on the YouTube scene. He is, getting these videos. So, and I see you everywhere. So you are being supportive of other folks too. So we want to support you. The Turtle Diaries. I saw that shout out you gave me in that video. So I'm glad I'm able to return the favor and shout you out. I appreciate you. And whenever you pop up, we just enjoy seeing you. We enjoy seeing you. Bobby, we have Bobby. Hello. Check her out. I love that she switched over to Zepbound. So when you have done more than one type of a GLP-1, you really have interesting content. So she's over there. You went on vacation. You didn't gain. I don't know if that'd be my experience. The girls went on the cruise and didn't gain. I don't even know if that'd be my experience either. Jeez, Louise. Oh my gosh. She says they can plant me ashes with the tree. They can plant your ashes with the tree. Yes, some people and a lot of people, honestly, I'm glad you said that because a lot of people are opting to do that because some people just want to. I know somebody who had their ashes spread, but even it's a little cost in that. It's not like a full blast funeral. But I know, and I can only talk about my culture. But we like to have a home going, don't we? We like to have a home going for our loved ones. And if you in any of these churches, they're charging. Even if you're a member of the church, they're charging. You're paying for the singers, you're paying for the pastor, you're paying for the plays. We like to have a repast. You like to have all that stuff. Now, do people need all that? No, but that's what people like to have. But you still have to have a casket to bury the person in, right? You still got to have that. So it's some basics that you're not if you're being the ashes. So I take that back. Not if you're being cremated is what they call it. You don't need that. But people still have like a little ceremony or like a little service, I should say. And they're going to charge you for that unless you're, a member of the church and the church is doing it for free. I have known that to happen. So yeah, but I just get insurance though, because when you leave, just think about it. If you leave and you're the primary caretaker for your family, then what? Then what? What if something happens and you lose your job, your husband you loses a job, your husband something happens to him. I just think as much as we love our kids, we have to love them not just with our actions and our day-to-day things, but we got to love them down the road. We got to think long term. Like this is what I want their life to live to be like long term, right? And some people have this attitude where they say, well, I didn't have all that. Well, don't you want better? When you know better, you do better, right? That's how it should be. When you know better, you do better. And I didn't have all that, but I still want that for my daughter and for my family. So I just think that, I think we got to want better and do better. Somebody says, here in the DMV, it's crazy. Folks are having a hard time finding employment with all that's going on. Well, I'm seeing a lot of, like for hiring jobs. Like I remember seeing Dairy Queen, and they were hiring. I don't know if you guys know what a Dairy Queen is. It's an ice cream place, and they were hiring for like $15 an hour. $15 an hour for Dairy Queen. I'm telling you, in schools, there are some positions that don't pay that, but they're hiring for that at Dairy Queen. So and I went a couple of. Well, I didn't go back to back like that, but let's say I went. This was last year, so I don't know about this year, but last year when I went, I want to say I went probably like I don't know, I tell this story about how I got the bubble guts from eating that Mexican food and those greasy chips. And then I stopped and got a junior Dairy Queen Blizzard. And so that was like I want to say that might have been May. I can't remember what month that was. But anyway, I went back in the summer, my daughter and I got a junior thing and I was fine. It was just that I ate and this was when I was newly kind of on the GLP-1. But, but I saw that same sign. They were hiring and they were paying that much. So that 3 months, 4 months span of time, they still had not gotten enough people to work there. So it's like, where are people working? Because I'm seeing hiring signs a lot of places. I just think it's kind of crazy. Let's see. Let's see. You said, well, now you have taken power back from that. You are well on your way to a full circle moment. Knowledge is power, especially when in finances and investing. Yes, yes, yes. Congratulations. Thank you. He says, I'm in Texas and there are a lot of now hiring signs up. Yeah. And I don't think that's because some of it could be because people are getting deported, right? You got a lot of deportation going on here, which is so sad to see. If you're a teacher in these schools and you have kids getting pulled out of school or afraid to go to school because they think that if they go home, when they come back, their parents won't be there. All of that stuff is just so, it's kind of scary. But yeah, I don't want to start tearing up here, so I'm going to change that subject. I read that about how you're enjoying that retirement life, Taisha. People pay more insurance for their phone than they do their own life. That's a great point. That is a great point. I never thought about it like that. And people are paying insurance for a lot of things, but not because people, I think, first of all, we think we're young and invincible. Instead of thinking when you're young, that's the cheapest you can get it. So just think, you get insurance on your kids now, and as that matures, is what they call it, it matures. when they turn 18 or however old, they have options for money for college now. You could take some of that money out. So I would sit down with somebody who understands it, can explain it to you, because you might be thinking, a lot of times people think like I'm wasting money. Well, not if you get a plan that when it matures, you have the option to borrow on it, right? To borrow on that, all that money you put into it, or you have the option to just sometimes take it right out. So it's different types of insurance too. Um, yes, let's see. And try to prepay for the funeral you want rather than hoping the family can find the money to cover it. Yes, and my grandmother did that. Her funeral was paid for. I actually went with her. We had everything to do. And I'm going to tell you, I was so scared. Now, my grandmother lived to be 92. This is one of my grandmothers. She lived to be 92. But I was scared because I was like kind of superstitious and thinking like, oh my God, something's going to happen to her now that we planned her funeral. Well, it did not. We planned her funeral probably when she was in her 70s, and she didn't die until 92. So she lived, and I mean, when I tell you it was the most easy peasy, lemon squeezy, I mean, I did her obituary. We wrote it out. All I had to do was submit it. We picked her casket. We picked it all. So I've done that all. And it's just, it's you hate to think about it, and I know a lot of us don't like to think about it, but I mean, geez, I mean, it just made everything. It was no fighting. It was no arguing. Who got this? Who said that? It was all written out. Let's see. Taisha, I looked at your comment again. You said you have it from the when you were in the Army. My family will be squared away and the VA will take care of them. Yes, yes, yes. So, but you have all those ducks in a row, so that's great. The funeral isn't for the one who passed. It is to support the ones who are grieving. Yes, yes, yes. That's so true. That's so true. And so that's why people, even when you have like what do you call that, the cremation, there's still a service because people want to honor that person. So Taisha was saying like just basically spread her out amongst the plants out there that she loves so much. But really your family is going to want a way, like she said, to remember you, and so they're probably going to want to do something anyway. But there are other things. People think of the funeral. Is there other things that are involved when people pass away? It's not just the funeral, though. It's other expenses. A death certificate. You got to even pay for a death certificate. That's not free. They don't just give those out. You got to pay for those. And in order to claim like a death insurance policy, or even like if you have money in the bank and all that, guess what they want to see? A death certificate. So you got to have money. It adds up fast, even if you don't have a funeral. And I just know that for a fact because I have my mom passed, my niece passed, which I wasn't very involved in hers. Her mom was. But, my dad passed. And the dad I speak of, which is like a gift from God, is my stepdad. But I don't say step, but just so you don't get confused, I'm going to say that. So trust me, I know more than I want to know about the services. That's great. Simply Taisha, thank you for your service and sacrifice to our country. But I do want to highlight you again, Sandra, because I do think you are so right. People want to do that. They want to have this big thing or whatever. But I'm just saying, plan it. If you know that, if your family knows that, like this is a family conversation that should be had, because sometimes people don't want that. And if you know that, then you start planning for it. I just don't think you wait and just to put a GoFundMe out and let other people fund you on it. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I agree with that. Um, let's see. Everyone, please hit the like button. Delilah is here. Delilah's also a content creator. You say you don't like to go to funerals. I know, but as a living person, I don't like to go to funerals. I've never felt closure when you went to a funeral. Okay, very good. And that's okay. We all have our right to feel how we feel. It's almost like the dating shortage. The employment need is higher than the available jobs. Competition is bananas, especially with a flood to the unemployment market in 2025. Yes. The employment need is higher than the available jobs. Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people aren't trying to work though. I really do. I don't know what they're doing for income, but they're not working. Let's see. There are plenty of single folks looking for love, Bellflower. Yep, it's just not equally matched, sadly. Shaking my head. There's a lot of hiring signs, but they are called ghost positions, and they aren't actually not hiring, just acting like they are because it makes the company look like it's growing to their investors. Really? That's interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that. because to me, when I see a forced hiring sign, it's such a turn off for me. Sometimes if I saw that in a restaurant, I think I might turn around because I think I'm going to get poor service, slow service, only because they're not going to have enough people working. And haven't you been to a restaurant where it wasn't enough folks, and you feel like, geez, Louise, what is going on with that? Yes, agreed, Dee Dee. Y'all make sure to consider a whole life policy if at all possible. Yeah, and the downside to that, Mail, is it's more expensive. But those are the ones where you can get your money out of it, right? That you could get you could borrow on those. You could take those a long way. And that's how the rich stay rich. They got those nice insurance policies, and they're not just the insurance policies that if you die you get A, B, and C. It's more to it than that. It's that whole life policy that's more expensive. But getting it at a younger age. So somebody might be saying, "Oh, I'm going to wait till I'm, 50." Don't, because it's going to be more expensive. You need to get it. The younger you get it, the cheaper it is. That's just a fact. Hello, Terry. How are you? Look how cute you are. Oh my goodness. She says, "Yep, get a pre-needs." What's a pre-needs? A pack. A pack. Is that pack? Oh, is that like for funerals? Like a pre-need for funerals? Are you saying? I'm not good with I'm not good with those acronyms. You have to file taxes too, and might need help to do that. Yes, you're right. That tax thing is another thing. That's why I also have a trust, because when you don't have a trust and you just have a will, when you pass away, you're going to have to go to court. It just is what it is. If you have things set up in a trust, you can bypass all that, right? You can bypass all that. So also getting your house registered. It's just a lot of stuff. I would really sit down, and I don't know if you could find something free, but I would really sit down with a financial advisor to really go over. And maybe if this is a hit when I do this, if people participate, I will do something in talking about all of this, and maybe bring an expert who could come and share with you what I know, some of the things I know. But I hired a lawyer to do mine, and I wanted to make sure, because I started to do it myself online, but I wanted to make sure I had all my dots crossed, and my I's dotted and my T's crossed, I should say. But it was well worth it. It was real worth it. So if something happens to me tomorrow, and God willing, I live to see my daughter, grow up and have her own family, and I live to be in my hundreds and still walking around, I can still drive. I'll be beeping you out, beeping you like, get off the road, Terry Edwards, get off the road. I still be driving. Hopefully, I could live that long. But if not, I'm just gonna be prepared. It's just a good feeling to know I'm gonna be prepared. A lot of places don't use signs. Everything is posted online these days. Yeah, I see a lot of signs around here though. But yeah, I can imagine. Hey there. Hey, Jamie. Oh, look at you. So cute. I love the hair. I think you have curls. I love a good curl. Reminds me of my daughter's hair. Hi there. I want to know how all these young people without jobs are paying their bills too. I'd love to figure that out. Well, look, Jamie, we got to be detectives, because I want to know. If you find out before me, email me. Email me, because I want to know. I always say that, like, what are folks doing for money? I just don't understand it. She says, Jamie, parents, grandparents, aunties financing their lifestyle. Oh, geez, Louise. Hi, Jamie. I'm not working at the minute, and every day is a struggle. When before, I didn't even think about struggling. When I had a job, I put a lot into savings. Well, that pot is now bare. Okay, so we got to get you on these stocks. I mean, and when you have just a little bit, like a little bit goes a long way. A little bit goes a long way. So, I mean, that's not going to solve your problem tomorrow, but that's just going to give you, because I think you're in your 40s, if I'm not mistaken. But just think 20 years from now, if you could set up a foundation, 20 years from now, you will be, you're going to be looking back like, geez, Louise, let me give that Dee Dee a hug. Oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing that. You guys are so sweet. I appreciate you sharing. This is a great combo. I have done some of this, but still have to do more. Yes, as I say, me too. I'm not I'm not saying I have it perfectly all together, but I do have some knowledge that has that has me thinking if I pass tomorrow, my daughter is going to be fine. Do you know what I'm saying? And how many people can actually say that? And I mean, I have everything in place for like if A happens, B is going to happen. If C happens, D is going to happen. And my parents did not teach me that. I learned that, I always say this, if follow my story, the first person was a custodian in my school who's told me to start putting away money. He told me what to put it into. And the only thing I did that was different was I actually listened. He said that to a lot of people. I was one of the few people that actually listened to him and did it. So, so it sounds like a passion of mine, and trust me, I have done some stock trading when I knew it wasn't the appropriate time because I was at work. And I knew I couldn't do it like how I wanted to do it. And I mean, I'm telling you, you lose money fast. Like eventually I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. When you see this, you're going to be like, geez, oh man. But then when you see you could also lose so fast too. And I'm sure you guys seen stock market things and different things. But yeah, you just got to your full attention has to be on it. It can't be like this weight loss where you're half, like, oh, I can make a video today and I don't have to make it again for a couple days or so. Like, you got to be on it every day because information is coming out every day, especially, with the world in some sort of chaos and people are talking about a possible war and all these things that affects my money and yours too, right? That affects it. And so, yeah, it's something else. But okay, yes. Okay, you said a lot of companies offer will service through employee assistance programs or EAPs, and it'll be free or near free. So if you work for a corporation, ask what may be offered to you. Okay, all right, very good. Thank you. A will service through employee assistance programs. All right, so maybe I don't know in the UK if they have anything like that. Looking for another nephew, ma'am? So Joe, okay, we are birthday twins. So we gotta celebrate it out. We gotta celebrate it out. Yes. So we're birthday twins. So you'll be 49. So okay, so you might for insurance be on that cut that I don't know if you're in that band or not, because it's like an age group band that you're in. But for stocks, you're never too old. You're never too old for the stock market situation. Dee Dee, this was a great conversation. Looking forward to more. But when I do, it's going to be for people that are serious minded. If you're just in there to like, oh, I only want serious minded people that have a little bit of money. And I mean, like $50. You can even start with $20, but have something to say, okay, I'm going to commit to it. Because if you don't, you'll be like, oh, that wasn't so good. And then here you didn't even try it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for serious minded people that really want to learn and read the information. Remember I told you I had that financial book club in the friends in there, when the reading got kind of tough, they didn't want to do it, right? Because it's tedious, and they just were like, we don't got time for this. We just want to talk about it. And really, learning, knowledge is power. You gotta learn, because I can tell you what to buy and what to do all day, but then what if I'm not here? What if you can't reach me? What if you have a question? So it's better to what's that saying about teaching fish? I can't remember what it is. You guys know that saying, right? You could teach somebody to do something, but if you teach them to fish, they could catch a whole bunch. I forget how it goes. But you know what I'm saying. So we need serious minded folks, because when I talk about this topic, I mean business. I'm not joking around at all. Your money and your time are two things you should not be wasting. And I can honestly say I've wasted both. And so now that I've gotten older, better, you do better. And so I'm not wasting my time. It's very, if I am, and sometimes I'm on these conversations with people and we could chat. And I'm talking for hours, but I learned how to multitask while I'm doing it. So I might be talking to you. I didn't, clean my kitchen, mop my floor, wash the load or two. I have, made dinner. So, and there are times when I just relax and talk, but for the most part, I'm up moving and grooving, right? So I learned how to manage that. So really, Yeah, we just want to learn how to be good stewards of our time, especially the older you get, and of our money, right? Because I know if we're looking at wasted money, I'm sure a lot of us have wasted money, and that money could be going. What I'm saying to you is to some stocks. I haven't added to this one portfolio I'm going to share to you guys. I haven't added to that. You'll see, because I'm eventually show, and I don't think I am. I'm going to wait for the stock market to crash. Normally, see, this is be a perfect time. I'm also telling you this when I want to get this together and get the group together to actually talk about after you read the information I'm going to give out, the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s is going to be, kind of easy peasy. But if not, come and ask me a question. When I get that group together, it's going to be at a time in September, October. If you look at history, those are the months that don't do so well in the stock market. Now, anything can change. I'm no fortune teller. I just go on data and facts, and those are the facts. And so September, October, that's when we're going to have these classes. So that's going to be a good time to go in. So come with your $10, your $20, your $50. If you're, balling out of control, $500, whatever you got, and just make a commitment to buy something and watch the money grow. Now, you could buy it for $20 today. Tomorrow, you might look and it's like $10. You're like, Dee, I bought this and I'm $10 down. You got to give it time, because the stock market is going to go up and go down. So I just want, like I said, I want people that are going to be good listeners, right? And not criticizing, so quick to criticize, and you got time. You got to give it time. This is no like get rich quick scheme. This is like give it time. And if you're like 70 or 80 and saying, I don't have time, you're doing it for your grandchildren. You're doing it for your family. And if you don't want to do it for your family, just don't do it, or just come and hang out with us anyway. All right, I gotta go. It's almost been 2 hours. This is the best group ever. Before I go, I will be remiss to say I want to hear some other people's non-scale victories before we go. We want to end out on a higher note. We want to end up selling, end up sharing some of our wins, right? We want to share some of our wins. I was gonna say selling some stocks. So, what are your wins? Oh, thank you, Simply Taisha. I can't believe I'm going to be 53. Do you ever look at your age and say, I can't believe I'm this age? Oh my gosh, you had to recover. I got sick and was out of work. Oh man. Okay. People, I know what people are going to be saying, and I don't care. People are going to be saying, that downsizing diva, she's over there talking about stocks and stuff, and that's okay, but we're counting our cash. People are gonna be like, how do I get to that Downsizing Divas channel? Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. It's all good. That's my situation as well, Delilah. Health is wealth, but it's difficult having either. Oh, Joe, that's okay. Hope is coming. Hope is coming. You got to keep hope alive and just keep being you. You're a bubbly, sweet person. And, prayer works. You got to be a prayer warrior and a doer. So when you find something that you get some knowledge, you got to act on it. Knowledge is power, as my good buddy Bellflower Nicole says. Jamie, what Mel B said, my 32-year, did I miss Mel saying something? My 32-year-old daughter has a good job and career, but the new administration just changed student loan repayment laws, and she suddenly has $600 a month bills to pay somehow. What? Let me reread that. My 32-year-old daughter has a good job and career, but the new administration just changed student loan repayment laws. What in the what? That's a big jump to go. She suddenly has to pay $600 a month. Jeez, Louise, I am so sorry. I mean, who is supposed to find that? Finding $600 extra each month is no joke. That's awful. Oh my gosh, Bobby. And you know what? The unfortunate part is we will probably need to help her with at least a part of it. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? I think it's unfortunate, but it's so many stories like that. It's so many stories like that. And who can just afford that? Like an extra $600 a month you have to pay. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that, Dee Dee. I don't know what part of that it was you were talking about, because been on a tangent. Thank you. I'll be on Dee Dee's Live the Friday before with Linda's Spicy Berry Sparkler. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I hope you guys have been traveling over to Miss Linda. She is so awesome over there making those drinks, and she looks darn good, doesn't she? I have so much to learn. I'm serious minded and lost. I need money to keep this GLP-1 going, especially in the next phase. It's more expensive. Okay, so but I also want you guys to remember, and I get that, but you gotta to make money, you gotta spend a little money. That is an economic fact. Look that up. That's not just the DD, and trust me, I've experienced that too. So you gotta. So now it's the time to start thinking. Put a little bit of money to the side so you can invest, right? So I would say if people could start off with $50, squeeze out $100, that would be good. If not, I'm telling you, come with $10. That's better than nothing. So yeah, because it's not about like who has the most money. I don't have that much money to give to it. You know, I have a nice little stack. I looked it up because I have still been contributing out of my paycheck. It goes directly to this brokerage that I have, but I haven't bought a stock because I've been so involved in YouTube. I said, Jesus, I missed all the good buying opportunities, but no. September, October. Now this administration is different. So, like, research it for yourself. That's one thing I do too. So when I share this information, when people give me information, especially people that I don't know, I look it up myself. I fact check. So if I give out any information, feel free to fact check me, because when I see people giving out wrong information on YouTube, I'm telling you, that's one of my that's one thing that annoys me. And I almost want to make a comment, but I don't want to be negative, right? Because that's what it's going to come off as, be a negative. But sometimes people are so wrong and they're so convicted in that wrongness. And I say you're never too old to learn. So if you know better, you do better. And if I don't know something, I can't fact check and correct my mistake. So fact check me. But so when I give this information out, check it out. Make sure it's true. So I'm telling you, that's something you could go research. The best times to buy in the stock market are usually September, October. Those are the times. And you got to think also, the stock market is these companies report in quarters. So quarters, that means four. So the second quarter right now, I think third quarter, we might be in the second and third quarter. Of course, one of the best quarters is that fourth quarter, which is right. What holiday is around that fourth quarter when people are spending money? Christmas time into the first quarter, which is the first of the year. People are making resolutions. They're buying things to support those resolutions. So I could go on and on and on. I'm going to stop right here. I could get off on the tangent, but you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. You just fact check, folks, because I think a lot of wrong information is given out. Charles Schwab has a bank account you can open. If you put $50, they will give you 100 free stock. Worth it to me, and 50 is yours. They also offer no international fees when you travel. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's not my favorite one. And I do have them. I have an account with almost every stock brokerage you could think of. That's not one of my favorites. And they used to be before they took over. Okay. They used to be, and then there was a change. So I'll talk about that. They're good. They're not one of my faves, but they're good. Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, so that's a good tip though. Anytime I say, who's going to give you free money? If you have an opportunity to get free money, take it, take it, take it, take it. So I'm going to give you a list of not just Charles Schwab's, but different ones that you could go. And I'm going to show you the ones I use and have used. And that doesn't mean it, I'm all about being user friendly, right? I like user friendly. It's pros and cons to everything, right? So the pro is that they're giving you the $50, but what is the con? Because isn't that what life is about too? Outweighing the pros with the cons. And so, but yeah, so I would just really just look into that. Give a man a fish and feed him for a day. Yes. Thank you, Sandra. Teach a man to fish and feed him for a life. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know why I get that always confused. But yes, that's an excellent quote, and that's for sure. Because I could tell you all day until you learn and experience it, not just experience it. Because I could tell you what heartbreak is like, how it felt to have my heart broken, but until you experience, you're really not feeling me, right? Because you can't relate. So you got to actually do it yourself. You got to do. All right, Sandra, people are agreeing with you. That's what I need at this big age. I know I've wasted thousands, and we all have. We all have. And and it's funny, you can watch. One thing I learned too is watching these gurus on YouTube with the finances. They don't show when they're taking their losses. They only really show when they're doing it big time, right? They only show when they're like making tons of money. And I think they feel like people won't follow you if they know that you have made mistakes. But I'm going to be honest. I can tell you, Warren Buffett, he's like the best investor of all time. I don't know anybody who doesn't say that, but I'm sure somebody might argue somebody different. Now we know he's not the richest one, right? Who is the richest man right now is that Elon Musk. And he's invented. I mean, did you guys know Elon Musk started PayPal? This man, when I tell you, whatever you think about him, he is smart and he thinks outside of the box. So if you want to go on a winning team for business, he is the man. I'm telling you, you look at his resume, he's all these things that we use that have been inventive. Elon Musk has been a part of the starting group of people that have made that happen. So am I surprised he's the richest man in the world? No. Will I be surprised if he keeps that wealth? Well, at the rate he's going, I will be. We'll see. But I mean, he is a smart cookie. He is a smart cookie. Now, I don't agree with what he's been doing is how he does and how he functions with things. But as far as business, but the stock. So if you really want to know about stocks, study that Warren Buffett. That Warren Buffett is where it is. And he's in his 90s and he's a frugal kind of guy. I wish I was more frugal like Warren Buffett because that's probably why he stays rich. That's how the rich stay rich, right? But I mean, he has some great, great tips. And one of the things he tells you is to be patient. To make money, you have to be patient. Where have you heard that from? I don't know, but I'm telling you. So when I'm telling you what I'm going to be sharing is going to require that Warren Buffett type of thinking. It's not going to require a quick fix because I'm not going to share that because that quick fix, I'm not as successful in the quick fix like I am in the slow and steady. It's like my weight loss. The quick fix type of money is what I wanted, my dream job, right? To be a stock trader. But the slow and steady money, I could tell you how to make that all and show you how to make that all day long. Am I rich? By no means. So I don't want people going out there saying, Downsizing Diva. No, no, no. I am not rich at all, but I have taken a little and done a lot with it, right? And so, if I could do that, everybody could do that. And I've wasted so much money. Geez, Louise, I'm even going to show you some money that I've wasted. I showed Taisha, and I think Mia was in that live. When I showed them some money, some losses I took. I mean, those weren't the biggest losses I've taken. You take some loss, but always remember that to make money, you gotta spend money. So remember that too. To make money, you gotta spend money. So if you're going to be cheap and say, I'm not buying that, I'm not doing that, then you're not going to make any money, and that's okay. I'll just take your share. So yeah, so when you know better, you just do better. You just do better. So yeah, so I'm working on this. I'm a working, like I say, things happen. I think people, think about how long I'm on YouTube, how much I'm on YouTube, and I also have an 8-year-old I'm taking care of who's demanding my attention. She's actually standing here watching me now, and she says 8.5. And then I have family, and I'm kind of like the rock in my family. So, I got that going on. And then, just catching up with people around my birthday time. So I'm busy, but I'm working on it. Who are you telling? And I know better. Did I miss that comment? Did I miss something? Oh, she says I wasted tons of money. Yeah, Taisha, just geez, Louise, I'm with you right there, my friend. I think all of us can find a few bucks here and there that we can save to do so. Yeah, because I see people buying a lot of these drinks and shakes and stuff. You might want to scale back. Including myself. When I say this, I'm including myself. I'm not above reproach with this. Like me too. I see. I was looking at my spending the other day, and I had to spank my own hand. I mean, geez, Louise. I just bought some stuff. I was telling them, I unpacked my Amazon box. I got another one coming on Wednesday. But I think I bought things that, I did buy some wants. I'm not going to even lie. I did buy some, I say it's a 60-40 split. I bought 60% of things that I needed, 40% of things I just wanted. So, and now I got to reevaluate that. So yeah, I'm in it too. But now I know it's a goal and, that I want to reach. So then, I meet with that financial advisor. I might come here with a whole different story next week. I I say a lady has a right to change her mind. I'm going to be faced with my retirement, all my assets, everything I got going on. I'm going to be faced with that this week. And it all comes down to this. And you know what? If I have to bet on anybody, if I retire, I'm going to be, it's like a lot of my income is going to be gone, right? When I retire, not a lot, but some of it. And when I retire, I'm just going to have to bet on myself. And guess what? If I had to bet on anybody in the world, guess who it would be? Myself, all right? Because I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of. I know how much energy and effort I can put into stuff. So, and I want you guys to start thinking like that too. Bet on yourself. That's the best investment you can actually make is on yourself. Um, Thank you for that, Delilah. I love that. Wow, investing is like being on a GLP-1. Give it time and treatment. Yes, it really, really is. And mine is slow and steady, just like my weight loss. Nicole, I've gotten so much better. I'm so comfortable with saying no to people trying to sell me stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, Mel, thank you. I actually sold some stuff on Poshmark. Yes, and I used to sell stuff on eBay. I actually have a ton of stuff I still need to sell on eBay, which is shoes, this, that, and the other. And what was nice is I think I'm gonna have another giveaway. I had that giveaway. I like to do it around Thanksgiving. And I had, I said, I'm just going to give this stuff away and just get it out of here for the summer. I'm sure I'll have more stuff by the fall to actually give away. But I think that's a great giving back, is another good thing too. And that's why I consider myself blessed because, I do give back. I am a giver, but I don't let people use me. Now that I don't do. I'm like, I don't do that, but I am a giver. And I feel like too much that is given, much is required. And to me, required is like paying it forward to people, right? So, and I love to give to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. That's my charity of choice. I love the work they do there. And I see those commercials with those kids, and I can't even talk about this. I'm gonna get teared up, but I see those commercials with those kids, and it just makes me want to do even more. You see those families, heartbroken. So, yeah, being a giver is also how you get your blessings, as far as I'm concerned. I actually sold some stuff. I read that. Very good. You're starting with the trainer. Project Build a Body on the way. We can't wait to see it. We're here for it. Let's give you some confetti, Taisha. Yes, yes, yes. Build a body. Go T, go T, go T, go T, go T. All right, I said I wanted to talk about Serena. Maybe we'll talk about that on Wednesday. That wasn't going to be. See what I'm saying? Maybe I'll do something before that. I don't know. Maybe Taisha and I'll go live and talk about that. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Serena Williams of it all. I don't know if you guys have heard what's going on with her or seen pictures floating around about her, but yeah, I definitely have an opinion about it. And of course, some of the nice, not, and I'm never going to be on here bashing folks. I just don't do it. Now, if you some of you in here, Dr. Bobby, it's Darium. If you ever catch me in here, and I've already told some other people, if you ever catch me in here bashing folks, please stop me, because that's not what I came to YouTube to do, and I don't even want to be a part of that. Even the celebrities, I don't want to be a part of bashing them either. But some things are just it can relate to what we're trying to do here in our weight loss journey. Let's see. Where did I leave off? I see some people are telling me their wins, so I want to make sure I get that. Let me see. I scrolled down a little too much. Let's do it, and we'll all get rich. Yes, Jamie. Yes, yes, yes. Well, in time, though. Remember, in time. So I seriously, I want you guys now. If I'm not on YouTube, you guys, hopefully I'll keep my Downsizing Diva email. I'm thinking 5 years down the road, in 10 years. And when you have a surplus of money, I want you to let me know, because that's going to make my day. And I don't mean a surplus like you're going to be rich, but even if you double your money, triple your money, quadruple your money, I also know stuff about crypto. I won't go into that. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. I went out of town for 3 days and did not gain any weight. Woo-hoo! I love that. You guys are all making me feel like I can't gain weight on my vacation, but that's right. That's okay. I'm not going to compare. I'm going to come back here with my rolls and be happy. that I enjoyed my vacation. I think that is amazing. When you go out of town and don't gain, because most of the time you're probably eating out, right? Unless you go to a family member's house. And then I don't know about you, but if I go to my family, they're not cooking for GLP-1. They're like, girl, you eating these greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes. Yes, congratulations. Oh, that's amazing, Taisha. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. I saw my nephew yesterday, the first time since his son's birthday party in March. He almost cried seeing the change in my health and well-being. It was so moving. Jeez, Louise, I bet. Congratulations. Isn't that a good feeling? I hope you're proud of yourself because I am proud of you. Tracy Davis, you are not down. 91.8 pounds. Yay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we got to give you some confetti. I love that. Jeez, Louise. I love it. Oh, gosh, you should be so proud of yourself. Look at that. That's almost 100 pounds down. I love that. Okay, Mel says my win was that I was able to almost fully recover from, you know what, jumping back into your fitness routine. All right, Mel to the big. And you know what? That was a struggle for you not to do much during that time. So we got to give credit where credit is due. I love that. Good job, because I know that was a struggle for you. So I'm glad you let your body heal. You listen to your body. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, so people are saying that's amazing. Way to go. Love that. Oh, look at those. Congratulations. I love this. Congrats on selling and getting cash. Oh my gosh, I love that. Very good. I love it, love it, love it. Bellflower, I probably could have made a mint. LOL. Mel, they're happy for you. A new trainer. That's amazing. Thank you, Jamie. She says, great work. Good work to everyone. Oh, yes. The weight loss goals are amazing. I love that. She says, did it for a few years. Yeah, I was selling stuff on eBay. I never went to Poshmark. I never made it over there. Oh, good job. I love this. People congratulating you guys. I hope you guys are feeling good. What a win, she says. Okay, so glad you're feeling better. I'm 1 pound away from 50 pounds. Oh my gosh, you're hoping to get there next week. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. And if not, give yourself grace and get there when you get there. But we love it. Let's give you some confetti. Yes, confetti, confetti. I love that. Very good. Okay, very good. Look at you guys hitting some goals here. I love that. A milestone. Yes. That's awesome. Yes. Don't you just love those milestones? I say any fit 10, 20, 30, all those pounds are milestone pounds. AI and cybersecurity are my main investments. Good ones. You have some good ones going on. Very good. We love that for you, Devin. All right, thank you. She's saying simply Taisha, it was by work, but work. Oh, it was work, but a lot of work, but worth it. I just had so much to unload. I would have done it again with this new lifestyle, but I was able to bless many folks. Yes, with your wardrobe. Yes, and a lot of mine are shoes. And I need to go back and double check because some of those shoes I could probably get into. But my daughter has stuff that I wanted to sell. So yeah, it's a lot. Let me see. She's saying thank you to everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Devin, how are you this Sunday? Tracy says thank you. Simply Ty. This third quarter of the calendar. Okay, third. So, yeah. So, and I think maybe the September, maybe October starts the last quarter. But anyway, you buy when the stocks dip. So when they dip, I'm gonna have to write myself a note on one of my lives. I'm live 3 times a week, so I can say it anytime. So I'll let you guys know like this is it. But by that time I'm gonna have something organized and put together. But I'm hoping in my mind. This is a vision in my head. And just got back from the beach. Then gonna make some grilled chicken. Darian, what are you eating? I show what I was eating, Devin. I don't know what I'm eating this afternoon though. Devin, that is smart. Thank you. Congratulations to all the Diva friends and their wins, scale and non-scale. I think free is awesome. We love free money. Butterfly, where have you been, my friend? She says, hey, D, beautiful D in chat. I haven't been on here in a while due to family trips and getting back on track. Well, we love it. Love to see you. You look great, of course. Doing it well, doing well. Just finished eating some chicken and veg for lunch. Welcome back from the beach. Okay, all right. Have a fantastic Sunday. Yes, 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 everyone. Oh, Devin. All these great wins and good energy setting us up for nicely for next week. Yes, for sure. Actually, that's very true. Free money is great. LOL. I have been using Robinhood and I like its ease of use. I have learned to be patient with the stocks, but need to also keep a good eye on them. Excellent advice. Excellent. I love that. Devin, are you somewhere in Florida as well, if you don't mind me asking? I wouldn't follow any influencers when it comes to investing. They pump their own bags. Yes, yes, yes. That's kind of what I said. I wouldn't. And I mean, it's a couple, but like I say, they don't really share when they don't do well. I had to cut on down on cardio, only warm up 10 minutes on a treadmill before weight training to avoid losing any more weight because I'm past my goal of 136 and the doctor doesn't want you to lose any more weight. All right, so you got to get, so you know you're back now, so you got to get yourself on track. Only 10 minutes on the treadmill. Okay. Yeah, focus on that weight training. I think that's good advice. But I'm no doctor, but you already heard that from your doctor. Devin says, maybe. That's something I would say. Warren Buffett's history is amazing. Elon Musk, Elon is definitely smart. Yes, and Warren Buffett, that some days he loses billions of dollars. Do you realize that? He some days he'll lose millions, a ton of money, and in the next, so I can see somebody being in panic mode. This is what I'm telling you, and then, a month later, he's doubled that of what he lost. So that's how the stock market is. It's ups and downs. You just got to you got to be patient, and you need time and patience is what the stock market needs. And so we got that, right? Because if you're on this journey, you should have both of those too, or else you're not going to make it. I'm sorry to say. That sounded so bad. You're not going to make it. Oh, geez, Louise. You said my dad has wealth and he's cheap. Yeah, most of them are. Most of them are. And they keep their money and they're not buying these luxury cars. Although they might have a luxury car that they might take on fancy places, but most of the time they're driving a regular old car around. You would never know it. That's why they say wealth is quiet, broke is loud. Yes, I need to find me a Warren Buffett, old and rich as heck. We're going to be talking about that. Jamie, what are you doing on Friday at 8:30? Because I think we're going to be talking about that, about that topic of a man and dating a man or a woman with some finance. You do remember that song? Ain't no finance without romance. I don't know how it goes, but I know you got to have a J-O-B if you want to be with me. You guys know that song? I used to love, ain't nothing going on but the rent. So if somebody comes up to you trying to talk to you, you sing that song, he's going to be rocking away. Well, maybe not, because sometimes they see you as a challenge and they try even harder. Let's see. Okay. Oh, you heard baby Didi in the background. Devin says, I dollar cost average into top tier investments. Yes, dollar cost averaging. Yes, miss, yes. That's another staple. So happy everything worked out for you, D. Thank you. I appreciate that. Or are you saying that to Delilah or me or Delilah? I don't know. I think you're calling me D. I'm just gonna say it. Musk is smart, but with a huge helping of privilege alongside his entrepreneurial skill. Yes, yes, yes. Well, he has so much power now. I didn't even want to read that out loud. Yes, I gotta be careful with what I read on these YouTube streets because they analyze everything. They know what you're saying. Express Scripts reps are amazing. Yes, 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 yes. I gotta write myself a note to remember to share that because I just thought that was good tips. I gave those tips to my doctor. When I tell you I had my prescription by that night, I was picking it up. Okay, so I may talk about it Wednesday. I may make a separate video. I may go live. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll go live and talk about it for a few minutes. I don't want to be on live very long though, because I got to work on this. Yes, yes, yes. But you know what? If you know what I do, Bobby, especially because I'm a teacher, you just know you know, people have their weaknesses, but I like to point out the positive points in people. I like to focus on that first. So yeah, but that is a smart guy, and most people, they say, and I'm not calling them a genius, but most people that are very, very smart, has social things that they need to work on, right? It's always, God made us perfectly flawed. And so some of those flaws with really smart people are social, right? People are so social. And I always see people who this know more than everybody. When I see somebody who knows more than everybody, I just think that person's got a long road to go, because you got to be a lifelong learner. You can't know more than everybody. And if you do, and don't be the smartest person in your group either, because if you're the smartest person, then you are missing out on a whole lot. So that's another important tip too. So if you're around friends and you're the head honcho, you need some better friends, not better friends, but more friends, right? You need some friends that you can learn from, because if you're not learning, you're not growing, right? And most people are ahead of their household, especially women. And we know men say they're the head of the household, but women run it, right? Because you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're probably multitasking. I know some women who don't do that. And I'm going to tell you, maybe I should save this up for a Friday, but I know this woman who it was time for her to retire. She actually really retired last year, but when she was considering it, she said to us, I don't know anything about the bills. I don't know anything about the finances. I don't even know if I can retire, because her husband did it all. Her husband did it all. She ended up retiring, so she must have checked with him and figured it out. Downsizing Diva, I'm going to tell you now, I don't ever want to be in that position, and I don't ever want my daughter to be in that position where she doesn't know. Now, that's not to say that I want to make the most money out of the man I'm with and all that, but that's just to say, just like we tell you, and I don't know why people make women think that this not okay to know this, but like we tell you as a woman that you should know your body, you should know your finances. I don't care if you're married or not. You should know your finances. That's hogwash. Hogwash. That people make women think that it's okay to like not know anything about your finances. So just like like again, like your body, you're the advocate for your body. You also have to know those finances, because I hate to say it, but it's a day where it might not work out, or he might pass on, whatever the situation is, and you want to be ready for the rainy day. Whenever that rainy day comes, you want to be ready for it. So that's another third important thing I'm sharing in this in this situation, because I've just seen it happen too many times. When she said that, I think my jaw almost dropped to the ground. I thought, geez, Louise, honey, she is older than me. She's way older. I'm gonna not way older. I want to say she's 55, 56. And she did not know where that money was going at all. And hopefully she has a beautiful marriage. You only know what people tell you. Hopefully she has a beautiful marriage, and things are worked out for her, because she was able to retire. But I don't want to be. I don't. And my daughter, no, 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 ma'am. As long as I can help it, you're gonna know where your finances are. And I don't even think just for a woman. If there's a man out there that's doing that same thing, you have to know what's going on with your finances. Again, we can't say advocate. To me, it doesn't make sense to say advocate for your body. Know what's going on. Know about these GLP-1s. Know what your doctor says. Know this. Know that. But then when your finance come in and you hear birds chirping out in the atmosphere, you got to know that too. So yeah, I got off on another tangent. That's for men and for women. Sorry about that. Thanks, Mel. I wrote that and hit send, and it was like, should I keep my mouth shut? Oh no, because I read it. I've been trying to like skim things too, because Mel and Taisha probably are watching the chat, but I've been trying to do that as well. I thank you for sharing that, Bobby. You're so true. I just didn't want to say it because, like I say, who knows what's going on these days. I do too. I love all the wins. People are saying congratulations to Simply Taisha. My doctor told me to stop taking protein shakes to replace meals. Just eat food each meal to avoid losing any more weight. That's excellent advice, right? Because you're drinking your calories, but it doesn't have the same nutrition either as that full blown meal would. So I think that's great. You have to keep us posted, Butterfly, and let us know if you how does that work out for you, okay? Um, Slim says, Slim's in the making. Do you set weight loss goals by on this journey or just let it be what it is? I set weight loss goals. So my first goal was to get to 50. And then after I got to 50 pounds down, my next goal was to get to 60, like, just like your milestones. I got to 60 and then I got to 70. And in January, I set a goal that I wanted to be at 100 pounds down by my birthday, and I didn't get that because my birthday is coming up in not this Monday, but the following Monday. So I didn't get to that. I'm at what was my weight loss? I lost a pound, so I'm at 231.2. So yeah, so I'm getting close. So now my goal is to get there by Christmas, to get to 100 pounds down by Christmas. So yeah, so after this month and then next month is kind of school starting back and this is going to be a lot going on. But after this month, I'm really just going to sit down and like map that out. How is that going to look? How is that, how can I actually get there, and then set a goal. And then when I get to that DEXA scan next month, I'm going to really be setting some goals with the DEXA scan people. So that'll really help focus me. And then I see my doctor in September, and I'll know if my A1C went down. So I got things in a row. I got it planned out. I just got to see, what's going to happen, where the chips are going to fall. But thank you. That was a great question. I have heard the same, Butterfly, but it's hard sometimes. I still have one in the morning when I don't feel like eating. I salute those that can do it. Yeah, the hard to get the food in. Slims, I said a weight goal. Okay, very good. And she's past her weight goal, so now she's trying to put on weight. Jamie, I was like that too until my doctor told me to stop. So your doctor told you to eat. Yeah, WB has the patience to wait out the loss until it's a gain. I need some of that patience. Slims is saying yes. I set goal, Slims, but also don't get down on myself too much if I don't reach it. Instead, I look for changes I could make to help reach the goal. Yeah, so that is exactly kind of how I operate. And I'm not on here like not coming on. That's another thing. Like I'm not like not making videos, and I'm not down on myself, and I'm not saying, oh, I didn't make my goal of 100 pounds for my birthday. No, I've just done the best that I can. I'm just gonna keep it moving. So I think that we got to give ourselves grace, and we just got to keep it moving, and we will get there when we're ready to get there. Gwen Gerthy, nothing going on but the rain. Oh, okay. Gotta have a J-O-B if you want to be with me. I remember that song. She says, I like that at Jamie. I used to be Psy. Is that Psy? C-Y? Watkin. Okay. I used to be my goal to get weight under obese BMI, since most insurance companies charge more when you are fluffy. Yes. Okay. And that's another thing too. It's like, I was saying I want to be 175 for my goal weight. And I think, that's still going to be in the overweight category. And I don't even know if that's going to be obese. I don't know if it's obese. But anyway, I don't want to be anything obese or overweight. Ultimately, I want to be out of that. So I got to reset that. Or maybe not. I don't know. It just depends. But I'm thinking I may need to reset that. LOL. Yep. Got to have a JOB. Yeah, we're going to be talking about this on Friday. I stopped Zepbound on my vacation with my family and was there longer than expected. The food noise came back and swelling in my joints were terrible, but I didn't gain weight like I wanted to. Okay. All right. Very good. But you didn't gain weight. So that's not good for you because you want to gain weight. But I don't like that. See, that's one of the things that's going to keep me on this medication is having that joint pain. I do not want joint pain. Absolutely no, ma'am. Jeez, Louise. You were off it for 30 days. Okay, so it probably got out of your system by that point. So no wonder all that stuff came back. Jeez, Louise, I'm sorry about that. Thank you. Butterfly, do you mind sharing what dose you're on in maintenance? I like those plans, goals, and milestones. Thank you. Dee Dee, you are much more gracious and a loving soul than I. You will get there by December. Yes, we got to put it out there. Bellflower, she's on 2.5 milligrams. Okay, so wow, you're maintaining on the 2.5. Isn't that amazing how some people are maintaining on 15 and then you're maintaining on 2.5? That should go to show you why we should not compare our journeys, right? Because everybody's body is so different. She is. That's why I love her. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing. My PCP said they will drop me down if I go past the bottom goal. Oh, geez. Wow. Same to you. Oh, wow. I started back on this my 4th week. Then I'm asking my doctor if I can only inject twice a month. Okay. All right. Very good. And this is your fourth week. You're asking your doctor if you can inject twice a month. Okay. All right. Geez, Louise, just when you think, and I want to thank you for sharing that, too, Butterfly. Just when you think you lose weight and you have it all figured out, then something else happens and now you need to gain weight. It's like, isn't this like, that's why I say this is a trial and error. This is never ending for some of us. And I just think you got to give yourself grace and listen. If you have a good doctor, certainly listen to that doctor. Bellflower, I should have listened to my doctor from the beginning to stay on 2.5 milligrams because 5 milligrams is too strong for me. That caused your rapid weight loss. Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. Trial and error. You learn. And let's give you some confetti because I think that's brave of you to share your situation. Love that. Thank you, Butterfly, for that. All right. Okay. All right. Well, guys, thank you. I will see you guys on Wednesday. And then I will see you on Friday. Friday, we're going to be talking about romance and finance. And I may go live in between there and talk about what my doctor shared, or I may make a video. It might be easier to just do it live. But anyway, if so, just check my notification. Make sure you're notified so you can know when I go live. Okay. Other than that, though, I'm scheduled for Wednesday at 8:30. Unless something happens, I'm always going to be there at 8:30 on Wednesday. So I will see you then. My daughter is ready to go. I can tell. Bye. Have a happy Sunday and rest. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.